Luxury jumps on a Boeing jet, leaves behind the family, no regrets. He's got a birthday, I'm your old Shanghai. Eyes are on Mrs. Lai, the reason why. While in Brisbane, the tears roll strong. Chinese whispers called him to Hong Kong. Pack up your bags and off you go. Leave behind the begging for the Luxy show. Archie flies where the dragons soar to romance Mrs. Lai until his balls are sore. Archie's chasing dreams in the mystic land. Mrs. Lai brings coffee to his hand. Family's calls echo on the phone. He's miles away, lost, but he's not alone. In old Shenzhen's glow, he likes to stray. With Mrs. Lai, they bonk till the light of day. Pack up your bags and off you go. He's not showing up to New York watch show. Archie flies where the dragons soar to romance Mrs. Lai until his balls are sore. Though the tears roll down in Brisbane town, Archie's 3-inch dick flops all around. Celebrations in the neon night, forgetting home, he's chasing new Asian delight. Pack up your bags and off you go. Leave the begging for the beach ball show. Archie flies where the dragons soar to romance Mrs. Lai until his balls are sore. Weeks later, Archie leaves his playground, comes back home, he's Brisbane bound. Comes up with stories that he's going bust, has to fool the punters to gain their trust. Pack up your bags and off you go. Leave the begging for the beach ball show. Archie flies where the dragons soar to romance Mrs. Lai until his balls are sore. Archie spent the punter's money, he's in a fix. Spins a story that he can't eat bricks. All the lonely simps believe his scam. Grab all that cash, shove it in his hand. Pack up your bags and off you go. He didn't bother with the New York watch show. Archie flies where the dragons soar to romance Mrs. Lai until his balls are sore. Comes on streams, he cries poor again. His mate Tan gives him $5 grand, maybe 10. Archie thinks he's a big swing dick, cause the punters fall for his gypsy shtick. Pack up your bags and off you go. Didn't bother with the New York watch show. Archie flies where the dragons soar to romance Mrs. Lai until his balls are sore.
Welcome to the program. Welcome to the show. This is the Archie Luxury live stream and Archie Luxury channel simulcasting over the YouTubes. Starting a bit of an early show today. I thought, you know what, let's do some watch talk, because I don't think when old AC3 shows up, we're going to talk anything about watches. So I thought, you know what, there's a bit of news today, a bit of watch news. So I thought, you know what, maybe we can riff with the chat, talk a couple watch topics before old big boy shows up. We do have 25 people in the room. Appreciate everyone joining us. First in the chat was Unacquired Taste, who says, greetings from Helsinki, Finland. Have a great show. Thank you so much. We had JCD 3072. Can't wait to hear what Mike the Snake thinks about the new plan. Yeah, you know what? Mike the Snake is welcome to join the panel. If Mike the Snake is listening, feel free to hop on, and I'll probably go through that watch right at the start. But Mike the Snake can definitely give us his opinion. I think everybody's kind of talking about this today, so I thought, you know what? It would be a shame. You know, this is a watch channel. Like, we can cover a little bit of watch talk here, at least for, you know, a couple of hours for you guys before we get into all the you know, staring blankly into the screen. I see, I understand. You know, so we'll have a bit of fun here, a little bit of fun watch talk for the crowd. We got Pickled Pickle in the chat, who is going to be meeting OC tomorrow in Dubai. Apparently, Apes is meeting up with OC. Big news here in the Archieverse. But I don't think I'm going to start with drama here. But nice to see Pickled Pickle. We got Loose Tooth OC in the chat, where the dragon soars. Yeah, you know what? It's funny. Bateman doesn't want to play that intro because he thinks Archie's going to get mad. But I'm just like, fuck that, man. I'm going to play that intro all day long. It's a long intro. It gives me a chance to have, you know, sip of water. I actually had a coffee before this, and I was like, you know what? I kind of feel like live streaming. And then I'm like, you know, maybe a half an hour into it, the caffeine hit, it's gonna crash, and you know, I might not have the steam, but I think I'll be able to get through. We got 30 Danny. Danny, I do want to talk about your topic actually. After I get through the Planned Ocean stuff, Danny sent me this kind of like an image, and he's like, "What do you think about this?" And it's actually pretty interesting, Danny. the way they've kind of bucketed those brands. So I will bring that up, and we can definitely talk about it. We got Skies and Boy in the chat. Why hasn't Marcelo made a new AI? I don't know, man. Marcelo's they were supposed to do a stream, but then I went into their StreamYard to pin the link, and there was no stream in the StreamYard. So I think maybe JB had set up that stream and then tried to delete it, and maybe didn't delete it off YouTube. I don't really know what's going on, so I sent him a message to say, hey man, if y'all aren't streaming, I don't mind doing some watch talk. I'm kind of feeling it today. I'm feeling it, boys. So I thought, why don't we do that? We got Bateman in the chat. Tan, big fan of the new Planet Ocean. Yeah, there's been a lot of talk, all day about this. Hopefully Bear Clooney's listening. He sent me a message on Instagram asking me what I thought. He's got a little. If you guys obviously have Bear Clooney on Instagram, or if you don't, definitely follow him. He does have a little bit of a poll going, I think, on his recent photo of the Planet Ocean, whether you'd like it, whether you'd buy it, all kinds of different. I think it's all kinds of different opinions right now around this new Planet Ocean. So we're going to talk about. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts. Obviously, it's just an opinion. Everybody's allowed to have a differing opinion. I'd love to hear, obviously, everyone's opinion, whether in the chat, on the panel, whatever you guys want to do. I mean, watch collecting is very subjective. There's no real right or wrong answer. We like to put everything in absolutes often enough, right? And I don't think there are absolutes when it comes to watch collecting, because it is personal taste, a lot of it, right? Like, if you break it down to its lowest common denominator, we're talking about fashion, we're talking about jewelry, and there's a lot to be said about personal taste. And yeah, I just think that really, what I like about Watch Talk is the debate. I don't necessarily like to be on a panel where everyone's kind of just circle jerking and agreeing with each other. That's why I really got along well with Higgy, because him and I never get along. We never have the same opinion on things, and obviously having a differing opinion is great. So definitely chime in the chat, hop on the panel. We'll get into it. We got all right. Who else we got in the chat? We got Easy Company, Easy on deck. One's in the chat for Easy. Easy, you've been withholding, man. We've had great panels on, and you would have enhanced those panels, Easy. So the maggot army is they're not happy. They're not pleased. There may be a mutiny on our hands there, Easy, if you don't start hopping on the panel every once in a while. Have you seen the new TGV? I haven't. I'll look it up, but I haven't seen anything of the sort. Interesting enough, Doc BBW actually sent his wrist check earlier today, and he was wearing a Breitling Type 20. Not my favorite watch. I don't dislike the watch. It's just not really, like, I don't know. It's funny. I actually prefer the Air Command over the Breitling. I don't know why, because I'm not really that hot about that watch either, but it is what it is. We got ones in the chat here for Easy Company. Yeah, man. Watch Talk is what we are about today. So, guys, I'll pull it up here. Since we said hello to everybody in the chat, we got the new 4th generation Planet Ocean from Omega on the screen here. New video from Omega. Couple of new features about this watch that I think are interesting. I mean, right off the rip, a new case size, or smaller case size. We're going down to 42 millimeters from its previous almost 44 millimeters. So probably a watch that's going to be a lot more wearable to more buyers. I think that kind of sweet spot of a sports watch between 39 and 42 is really that range where most collectors want to, they want to plan for, average size wrist. Obviously, if you got a tree trunk of a wrist, you wouldn't mind going to a 44. Some 44s, I think, can be worn by most people, like a Panerai. I think Panerais are a bit of, their lug to lug isn't as big as you'd think it would be. And so while the watches are big, I don't think that they're unmanageable for most people. But, if we're kind of sticking in the range of what is probably the sweet spot of sports watches, between 39 and 42. So I think right off the rip, size-wise, Omega got it right. Going for a 42, I think that's perfect for it. Another major feature, I think this is going to be, I mean, I'd be interested to think, and hear from people in the chat around what people think around the helium escape valve. We got a question from Loose Tooth. How thick is it? I think it's about 13 and a half. So it's not a thin watch by any means, but again, a watch, if you're wearing a diver, I think you want a bit of presence on the wrist. It's not overly chunky. It is getting there, but it's not necessarily a thin watch, you could say. So it is probably on the thicker side, I would say, but I think that heft is something people might find probably pleasing on the wrist, especially if they're wearing a somewhat larger watch, but that's about the thickness of it. But one of the interesting pieces of this is the removal of the helium escape valve. And if you kind of see on the Ultra Deep, I believe they also did it on the Ultra Deep as well. And I'll get into the article of how they did it, and they maintain the depth rating and all this other jazz without the helium escape valve. But I think that that's a, it's a, I think it's very, again, like I said, watch collecting is very subjective. I don't really mind a helium escape valve personally. Like if I'm reviewing a Seamaster Professional 300, my biggest qualms are not necessarily with the helium escape valve. My bigger qualms are with the bezel, the scallop bezel. Even though it's been improved over time, it's still fucking shit. Like it's not good. I'm sorry if you like Seamasters. That scallop bezel has always been terrible. It's gotten a little bit better, but nah, it just doesn't do it for me. And then the bracelet. I think the bracelet on the Seamaster Professional 300 has just never been that great of a bracelet. It's a very 90s aesthetic. They haven't really, I mean, they've updated like certain things with it, but it's just, it's really maintained that same profile, I would say, from its inception kind of in the 90s. So it's not my favorite bracelet either. So I would say before I get into dogging the helium escape valve when it comes to like Seamasters, I really go for, there's other things that bother me, but I do know that the helium escape valve is a big one for a lot of people. And as you can see here, there's no helium escape valve on this Planet Ocean. So I think that is a plus for a lot of folks. Next, kind of looking at the watch, we've kind of see the removal of the lyre lug style of lugs on this watch. A lot more angular, I would say, on this watch, which I don't know how I feel about the angularity of this watch. I think that, like, at first glance, I'm not that big of a fan of the, how angular it is. However, pictures, videos, renders, they can be very deceptive. And I've been guilty of this. There's been many watches that I've seen online that I absolutely hated. And then when I tried them on in person, I absolutely loved. Royal Oak was one of them. Reverso, another one. So I'm going to kind of reserve judgment on it. I don't necessarily like the angularity of this watch. However, it's, some people may feel that, and look, I'm not a big fan of the lyre lugs either. So I would say it's an improvement from that perspective. But I really have to see this on the wrist, and it could wear beautifully on the wrist. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I could slap this on the wrist and it would look absolutely perfect. And, I'm just saying, from a photo, from a render, not that much an aesthetically pleasing look to me. But, there's obviously, different opinions. We got Cameron in the chat who says it looks good, right? Totally subjective on that, whether people enjoy the enjoy the angular look, or whether they prefer the older style lyre lugs. Toby Larone says the 300 bezel is shit, but who cares? Most people don't even use the bezel. They just like they don't dive down to 300 meters. Absolutely right. The scallops look ace, and that's more important. I guess it depends, right? Like if you're simply just leaving it be, sure, I can see the aesthetic of that being fine for most people, but I think there's a lot of folks that like to, they like to mess around with their watches, play with their watches a bit, use it as a fidget spinner. I've seen Mark Goldberg do that a lot, and there's just something different between even like a Tudor. Like think of a Tudor Black Bay, a very notchy bezel compared to the scallop bezel where your fingers slip on the bezel. And look, it's gotten better over time. If you buy one of those original Bond watches from the 90s, a hell of a lot worse. Cooler in the sense that I preferred the aluminum bezel back in the day versus the updated ceramic. But like I said, they've done improvements on it. It's very subjective, right? Like this is what watch collecting is about. And I really appreciate, comments like this that are, of differing opinions, because I think that this was what watch collecting is about. It's not about everybody owning the same watch, right? The last thing I want, and it's funny for those that really sip after the Panda Daytona, right? There's little fanboys that love the Panda Daytona, and that's like the Grail piece. And it's just funny when I see them go to like a red bar, and there's like 4 other people wearing a Panda Daytona. Like it's not special. It's a cool watch. Don't get me wrong, but it's just I don't know. I like to spices the variety of life, in my opinion. And I just think if everybody's wearing the same shit, it gets a little boring. Guys. I'm sorry. Got one you see it in the chat. Nice to see one you see. We got JD MTL, JD Montreal. Yo, dog, leave this piece in the garbage. Not a fan of it. We got Neville in the chat. Thank God they got rid of the word. Yeah, look, a lot of people don't like the helium escape valve, and I think there are going to be fans that are simply, they're simply happy that the helium escape valve is gone. And I'll read some of the technical parts. If I have the monochrome article up, for us to kind of get into, how they got the depth rating and everything else without the helium escape valve and other things. But yeah, Child of Zenith and it's not a bad observation. Child of Zenith and Grand Seiko. I can see that. I can definitely see that. I can definitely see that in the design, right? And again, the design, look, it's okay. I would say this is an okay to good looking watch. It's not I don't think it's a complete knock out of the park, and I don't think it's a complete fail. I think this is like an average to good release. I mean, I'm not that impressed with it. There's certain things I do like. I do think they got it right when it comes to the size, and really look at where this watch competes, right? Like when you got the 300 Seamaster 300 Professional at the 300 meter depth, this is a 600 meter, right? You kind of got the 300 meter, you got the Planet Ocean, and then you've got the Ultra Deep, and it's a bit different than Rolex, right? Rolex has the Submariner, and then you got the Sea Dweller, right? The Sea Dweller is it is a watch that definitely goes a little bit further than this watch does in the whole theory of being able to dive, really that deep. But and then you have the legacy, like Deep Sea Dweller and all this other jazz, right? But really a watch that's kind of in that range of, you could say, competing with the Sea Dweller, or the same kind of lineup, you could say, as its competitor should be the Sea Dweller. And even in Rolex's history, right? Like the Sea Dweller's never really been a popular watch. It's a cool watch. They produce a hell of a lot less of Sea Dwellers than they do of Submariners, but I think that's by design, right? The Submariner is just a more popular watch, and people just want a Submariner. Planet Ocean is similar like that. I find most people gravitate towards the Seamaster Professional 300, but you do find the odd individual that buys the Planet Ocean. You got Aquaterra, Planet Ocean, you got all this. Omega does have a bit of depth to its lineup, but then they also have the Ultra Deep that is the real big boy when it comes to the super diver, you could say, in that lineup. Wish for perfection and you'll always be disappointed. True. I don't think there's a perfect watch out there. I think that there's criticisms that can be given across most watches. I don't think that this one is without its criticism. And again, very subjective. Like I said, if I was to give you just like an overall, what is my feeling about this watch, just looking at it and taking it all in, because other pieces that are new about this watch, there's no date on this. So I do think that's a good thing. I think it brings symmetry, 12, 3, 6, 9 Arabic numerals. Very symmetric, I would say, in that sense. And yeah, I think that's a pretty cool thing. But yeah, I mean, I think that in these cases, right, we do have a package that can be put together in a very, I would say an average to good release. I don't think this is a knockout of the park release. And you kind of think of releases that Omega has done recently that have garnered a lot of fan favor. The first Omega in space, that was one watch that I think many people were simping over. Many people were absolutely in love with. No Time to Die, right? It's the greatest watch everybody forgot. Sorry, Bateman. That's the way I've always seen the No Time to Die. Great watch. But it was forgotten very quickly. I think it's the same kind of thing with the first Omega in space. A lot of fanfare when it first came out. I just think a year or two in, it's going to be forgotten. I don't think that this watch is going to be at that level. It's a nice piece. I think it's a good addition to the collection. I think they got a lot right. No date, very symmetrical dial. Look, the angularity of the watch is subjective. Some people love it. Some people hate it. I like it better than the Lyre lugs that they had previously on it. So I think it's an improvement. No helium escape valve, I think, is definitely going to be favorable to a lot of people. And yeah, like I mentioned, I think that it's an overall good to average release. They've polished the center links on this watch. That's a good observation. Not really the best, for a sports watch. I know that Paul Centerlinks definitely will annoy the fuck out of a lot of people. It's one reason people don't like the GMT versus the Submariner, where the Submariner has a brush bracelet versus the Paul Centerlinks on the GMT Master. But again, some people like the bling, right? They like the look of it. I think when it's clean, it looks fantastic. I think after a while, it's gonna look a little fucked up, but it is what it is. I'll get you your wrench back there, Dubsy, once I get into the chat when Archie shows up. Dirk Diggler, that's why I dig Black Chicks and Latinas. Spice, baby! Got Dear Artifact, a fellow Canadian brother in the chat. Very strange year for Omega in terms of releases. I think they need to reflect. Look, Dear Artifact, I think that a lot of the brands are just, the watch collecting market, I think, is going back to where it was pre-COVID. And this is not unique to watches. This is happening everywhere. Car market and other collectibles out there that are simply kind of just going back to how it was. And look, I think some of the brands are trying very hard, and they're still probably living in that era of COVID where they have to have these, these mediocre releases, and they expect people to just eat them up. And look, I kind of looked at the White Dial Speedmaster the same way. I mean, Bear Clooney said that was the best release of the year, or his favorite one. And to me, like, I even said to Archie, I said, I mean, what is this? Like, it's just a different color dial. Everyone's, beating up the Cubitus, which is a completely new design. But I think I went after GMT for this, because GMT was like in love with like the White Dial Speedmaster, and then GMT was just fucking dogging the Cubitus, and I was like, dude, like, you're simping a fucking watch that literally has a different colored dial, but when you got another watch that has a completely new design, you might not like the design of it. I think for Patek Philippe to come out with a square watch at a time when they're not very popular is a bold move. Yeah, I mean, that's doing something different. And I think, to Artifact, this is what the brands need to do, is they really need to come out with product that is innovative, that is different, or else it's just going to be the same old dribble, right? Different color dial, different color bezel, right? All this shit. But look, in this case, I think it's, for the Planet Ocean, I think with this fourth generation, it's, and I think even the article on Monochrome says it's not really a mid-year kind of like facelift. There are somewhat significant changes here on the Planet Ocean, going, to a 42 millimeter case, removing the helium escape valve, removing the date, becoming a bit more of a symmetric dial. I think it's definitely a refinement of this piece, and I think it's going in the right direction. But is it a standout for the brand, or does the brand need to really do a lot here, or a lot more? I think they do. Josh is a good observation, Chief. It's Seiko Samurai angularity, not for me. Yeah, that is a good point, right? Definitely, you can definitely get Seiko Samurai vibes, especially with those hands on this watch. I can definitely see that. And the Seiko Samurai is not the most favorite watch of most Seiko collectors. Personally, for me, I prefer the Turtle to the Samurai, or the Sumo, or to the SKX. The Turtle's always been kind of my jam. I don't dislike the Samurai, but I can definitely see this, right? And again, when it comes to originality of these brands, right? Like, I guess we have to look at it this way. Watches are not made for, like, these brands don't just make them for watch collectors. I don't even think they give a shit about watch collectors to the extent we would probably hope they would. They build these watches and they design these watches for the masses. And so when you're looking at a watch, your reaction to that piece is probably paramount. So if your first reaction is, oh, this looks like a Seiko Samurai, or, oh, I don't like it off the rip, I mean, that speaks volumes to the design, to probably, its popularity. I think that first impression is always going to kind of dictate how successful this will be, at least in the initial term, right? Over time, unpopular watches can become popular, all that shit. But, I think that, like, hearing from you guys, and look, I think what I've heard all throughout the day from talking to people has been mixed reviews. Some people love it, some people hate it, some people think it's okay. I'm in the average to good category here, like, out of 10, maybe like a 6.5. It's not overwhelming, it's not underwhelming. It's, some things are good, some things aren't, like, fucking groundbreaking, I guess. Polished Centerlinks on a Planet Ocean. Yeah, I mean, look, kind of doesn't make sense. Archie has 2 helium escape valves. That is a good one. Really good modern evolution. It will grow on folks. Yeah, look, it may grow on people. Um, I think that like I th- I think if you're trying to build a watch that needs to there's so many watches out there, Drofil Bill. Like there really is, and I think a watch's ability to grow on people is very, very, very difficult unless you're like Rolex. And a good example of that's like the Land Dweller. Some people love the Land Dweller. Bear Clooney is a big fan of the Land Dweller. I think the Land Dweller, is a stupid looking watch. I don't think the design's any good. I don't like the fact they put Land Dweller on the dial. Like that will never grow on me. But I think it will grow on people for other reasons, right? It's a watch that other people can't get. It's desirable. So once other people desire it, it becomes more desirable, right? I think there's limited amount of brands that can have that effect, and I just don't think Omega is one of them personally. And look, there's a lot of examples of pieces they've created that people love that sink all the fucking time, and that's just how it is. Designing watches can't be that tricky. Every YouTube fucker and his dog has been having a bash lately. Yeah, I mean, ID guy, I think does a good job of analyzing design. And again, right, these are made for the masses. They're not made for the fucking PhD in horology, right? Like they're not made for Jonathan Quill fucking Higgins the third. These are made for the average Joe who walks into the shop, who wants to buy a piece of jewelry. That's what watches are: pieces of jewelry that tell time. That's what they are. So if it's not aesthetically pleasing, if it doesn't fucking get your dick fat, like they've missed the point. They really have. Um, I felt that way about the Land Dweller when I saw it in person when it released at Watches and Wonders. I was there in person. I saw it, underwhelmed, did not really care for it. Don't like the design in any way, shape, or form. I think they could have done better. I really do. Right. So Ali 007, I hope they do a 44 millimeter version with a date window and a 22 mil strap, right? So some people want a larger watch, and some people want a date window. That's, I mean, when you really think of practicality, like if we're going to be the tool watch snob, I guess, like the practicality of it is any diver, especially one that is meant to be a medium, in terms of the lineup, kind of that mid range of depth where you would take this watch or should be using this watch for, which nobody's going to use. But if we were to just play along with the narrative here that they give us, you're talking about the watch that goes further than your standard diver. Why the fuck do you need a date, right? Like it doesn't make a lot of sense. And that's where the Sea Dweller made sense of not having a date on it. When they put the date on it in the new Sea Dweller, it kind of was like, what the fuck? Because the Sea Dweller with no date actually made a lot of sense. Because at that point, it's like, well, it's a purpose built to a watch, although very impractical, I would say. It's still kind of the technical achievement you could applaud in that sense. So why need a fucking date? So I think not having a date on this watch is probably the better thing. But some people just want a date, right? They want to watch that they're going to do desk diving and they want a fucking date. Like I get it. Darth Negus, always have to see a watch in person to ultimately judge it. Yeah, 100%. Like I'm talking about the angularity of the case and just it could be a watch that fits beautifully on someone's wrist, or it could be one that just looks really fucking awkward, and that's hard to tell if you don't put it on the wrist. And I've been guilty of this many times. Dogging a watch, putting on. I hated the Hulk in pictures when the Hulk was out, like many years ago. And I remember when I was buying my Royal Oak 15300. This was probably in like 2014. The guy who I bought it from is a buddy of mine in Montreal. He was wearing his Hulk, and it was a bright sunny day, so that sunshine was just gleaming off of that green gold dial. And like, man, I fell in love with that watch just seeing it in person like that in the, I'd say optimal light, you could say. So yeah, I mean, real life experience is always going to trump these kind of renders and YouTube videos and all this shit, right? You got to really see them in person and experience them before you can really make any kind of informed decision. Mike the Mistake, I prefer Mike the Snake over this. I hate the Planet Ocean, says Dirk Diggler. Yeah, look, there's some people who absolutely dislike the fucking Planet Ocean. It's never been a lineup that I've ever really cared about, like the Aquaterra, right? Like, I never really gave a shit about the Aquaterra. Never really gave a shit about the Planet Ocean. I do like the Ultra Deep. I think it's a cool concept. Never buy one, but I do think the Ultra Deep's a cool concept. So yeah, it's kind of one that I've always turned a bit of a blind eye to. But if I'm just kind of evaluating this watch on first glance and what's new and what's changed, yeah, I mean, I can see definite improvements. I can see a reason why people would buy this. So look, someone wants to be a little different, right? They don't want a Seamaster Professional 300. They want something else. They don't want just the run of the mill that everybody else has. I used that example earlier, right? Like Panda Daytona. You show up to a red bar, I guarantee you there's like 3 or 4 other people wearing a fucking Panda Daytona. Like, it ain't special. Sorry. If you have a Panda Daytona, like, more power to you. It ain't fucking special. There's tons of them out there. You're going to see others in the wild. Like, I'd rather wear something unique. But that's just me, right? Some people want to be like everybody else. It's just not me. We got Angelic the Slayer, who says very subby. Yeah, I guess you could say that. In my opinion, best underappreciated Omega is the Aquaterra. Yep. The Aquaterra is one. It's not for everybody. I think Scotch Down Under, Ken ended up buying an Aquaterra as his latest purchase. He's out with Jock. I don't know if they're listening. It's probably pretty late. I think they're like 9 hours ahead of me. And we got Mr. GMT. What's happening, buddy?
What's going on, my man? What's happening?
Give me the drum.
What's happening?
What do you think of this new Planet Ocean? Tell me.
I think it's overcompensating for shit. It's too fucking chunky, man. What the fuck? Look at that bezel.
It's big, but like that's kind of the point, right? Like if you're getting these like ultra deep divers or mid range divers, I mean, you would expect it to have a little bit of heft, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I suppose. I just don't like the look of it. It's just my personal preference. That's all. Just like the Cubitus.
Yeah, well, I mean that's exactly it, right? It's personal taste. The angularity is one that, like, I mean, Chief said it earlier. He says it kind of gives me like Seiko Samurai vibes, and I can see that, man. I could definitely see that.
Yeah, I can see that too. I can definitely see that.
But if you look at a previous one like the Lyre lugs, not everybody likes Lyre lugs, right? I was never really a big fan of them. They've kind of removed that, made it a lot more angular. I think you got to wait. You got look. You own a Monaco, right? And I love.
Yes.
When I see you wearing that Monaco, dude, it looks so good on your wrist. Whenever I put on a Monaco, it looks fucking terrible, man. It's a watch I really want to love, but I just can't, man, because it doesn't look good on my wrist.
Well, that's one watch that I get the most compliments for. Maybe because it's a square watch, it stands out a bit more. All those factors, and I get into a lot of conversations about it, which is it's nice, it's beautiful. I'll never get rid of it. That's the only watch that I actually bought from an AD. I
really want to love that watch. Like I really do. It's got a lot of history. It's cool. Like it's one of those square watches, that it's different, right? It's not a rectangle like the Reverso is. It's a square. And
square, yeah.
It's just there's not many square watches out there. I mean, I own a Cartier Santos. I guess you could say it kind of gets that vibe. And the Santos looks fine on me. I don't know what it is about the fucking Monaco, dude. It just doesn't work out for me.
Maybe it's a bit too big. Like as in because it's a lot of bezel. A lot of dial more than bezel, right? Where the Cartier is more bezel than dial. It's got a lot more bezel than just dial. So that gives you that balance.
That bezel just scratches the fuck up so quick, dude. Like I was at this like event at Lamborghini Montreal. It was like a cocktail party. So I was like, I'll wear the Cartier. It'll be nice. And I don't know what it was. I think I brushed against something and it wasn't even that bad. And I was like thinking in my mind, I guarantee I fucking scratched the bezel. And lo and behold, a fucking scratch and a big one too. And I was like, fuck. And it's polished all over.
That hurts.
Well, you get the first one, right? When you get the first one, GMT, it's always stings. After that, you don't give a shit. But
you don't give a shit.
But
it's like anything.
I think in this watch, there's like I said, there's certain points that are good about it. Like,
look, if you don't know, I'm a big Seamaster fan, right? So, but I collect the movie iterations of the Seamaster. So, I've got the GoldenEye, I've got Quantum of Solace. So, I'm more of a movie collector when it comes to Seamasters, but I do like the Seamaster in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the newer ones. I like the older ones a little bit more because they seem to go too thick in the newer ones with the ceramic bezel. That's the only thing that I don't like about them. Definitely. But it's each to their own. People like the ceramic. People like the aluminium bezel. So each to their own. But in saying that, this watch is not for me, definitely.
Got a super chat here from Frank V, $2. Thanks so much, Frank V, who says, I want the GMT 4th gen to come out, but in 43 or 44. So this is an interesting part about this watch is they've reduced the size from like a 43 and a bit down to a 42, which I think is a good thing because that sweet spot, in my opinion, is 39 to 42 in sport watches. Like, do you think this watch should have been bigger? It is thick. Don't get me wrong. It's not thin.
But how thick is it? How thick is it?
I think it's like I'll pull up the monochrome article here. Let me go all the way to the bottom like Archie does. I want to look at the price. We are talking about it's almost 14, dude. 13.79 millimeters. It is.
Oh, that's not. It is. It's not too bad for. Well, look at the Tudors for fuck's sakes. The the 41s. Yeah. How big? They're about the same, aren't they?
Yeah, Tudors are. And look, people complain about the Tudors, right?
Well, they do, but a lot of people love them too for what they are. For example, Timely Behavior's got one, right? And he swears he'll never change it. He loves the size, loves the thickness, everything about it. So again, it's each to their own.
I don't know. It looks like it's a nice looking watch. Don't get me wrong. There's just something about it. I don't know what it is. It just looks off.
I think it might be the color of the bezel. It cheapens it a bit.
I think that there's maybe other colors. Let me see if I can find other colors here. On this, let me go back to that other page because this fucking page is fucking up for me. I think there's other colors. What about this one, GMT? What do you think?
Yeah, that's a lot better. I think that's a lot better. But again, I know what it is. You know what it is?
What's up?
And it's the case design, the way that the angular the case on the lugs and stuff. Do you see that? That's what I think it is. It cheapens. I think that might give it more of a cheaper, design language, and that's what a lot of people probably don't like.
What I do like is just the no date. And I know there's been a comment earlier that says people prefer the date on it. I think this looks cleaner without the date.
No, I like it without the date. You don't need a man for this watch. You don't need a date for this watch.
I don't really see. Yeah, I don't really see the point of the date on this kind of watch.
I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah. Take your time. Take your time. We got a couple folks in the chat that I haven't said hi to. We got AD Never Calling, who says at least it was at a Lambo event. That's how I remember it. AD Never Calling. I was grabbing a drink from one of the cocktail waitresses and fucking boom, scratch. It's just like fuck me dead. Yeah, it does look good, right? Blue bezel. And not everyone's a big fan of the orange, right? I get that. In the grand scheme of things, this isn't the most aesthetic. Orange is not everyone's color, right? But let's scroll through here on these pictures. Don't know if I really care too much for the black. This blue looks nice. I think this is probably going to be the popular one. But then again, right, the blue on the when we saw it on the Tudor Black Bay, nobody really liked the blue bezel black dial. It was generally the gilt dial that people like, the traditional one. Then it was like the what Archie calls the Black Bay Burgundy, which was the red dial, the red bezel. The blue one never really got a lot of fan favor for some reason. So maybe I'm off. I like the blue. May not be for everybody, but look, I don't think that this is a bad release. I don't think it's a I just don't think it's a extraordinary release. But hey, it's something to talk about, guys. It's something new. And hey, we talk watches on this channel. Apparently, we talk watches sometimes on this channel. Darth Nega says a white dial really worked on the old version. Yeah, I mean, I think eventually they're probably going to start fucking around and different color dial, different color bezels. Again, on this rubber, doesn't look bad. Looks all right. It definitely angular, definitely a different design. And again, different can be good, different can be fresh. It definitely separates it from the Seamaster Professional lineup, in my opinion. Definitely separate from the Aquaterra to a certain extent. But again, is it enough for people to spend their hard-earned? Let's see how much this is. Let's pull the old Archie Luxury, it's expensive side of it. And we are looking at from 7,200 Swiss francs on a steel bracelet to 6,700 Swiss francs on a rubber strap plus taxes. So we've got different references here. We got black on steel, blue on steel, orange on steel, black on black rubber, blue on black rubber, which is one we just saw, orange on black rubber, and orange on orange rubber. I think some folks are probably going to go with the the blue bezel maybe on a rubber. And that's another interesting point was in the Seamaster Pro, I've owned the wave dial, the new ceramic wave dial, and I bought it on a bracelet, and I thought the bracelet was the way to go. And then when I put it on the rubber, it was actually like much better on the rubber for some reason or another. I just don't like the Seamaster bracelets. So when I put it on the rubber, it was just like fucking 10 times better. It was much nicer on the wrist. I enjoyed it a lot more. So maybe if I were to buy this watch, I'd probably go rubber. I wouldn't go bracelet, but hey, that's me, right? And a lot of people in the chat have talked about, hey, polished center links. Like, do you really need, polished fucking center links on this watch? Is that really a good idea? Let's pull this watch up here again on the bracelet. Is that a good idea? I don't know. They look polished. I mean, it looks pretty polished here. It looks like there's a bit of, there's a bit of a bit of different shade on that, but I could be wrong. These are just, photos and renders. I don't know. Okay, decent, not amazing, not bad. Just kind of meh. 6.5 out of 10. I don't know if you guys disagree. Some people may say this is a fucking 2 out of 10. And there's going to be those Omega fucking simps out there that are going to say this is an 11 out of 10. I don't think this is a first Omega in space release. I don't think this is a no time to die, the greatest watch everybody forgot. Like, I don't think it's one of those. Bateman, don't fucking paste random shit in the chat, dude. I'm not going to be able to go into the fucking YouTube, pull this up. Unless you're on the panel or someone else is helping me, I'm not fucking going to be able to go into it. All right, let me pull this up for old Batman, because Batman does pull up stuff, right? He does help us out. So for the Batman, I will go into the fucking YouTube and pull this up here for him. All right, share this tab. Let's have a look. Ce on fait de la profondeur sur votre Omega Seamaster 300. Son cadran, which is the dial, devient plus lumineux. The dial becomes more luminous in the French translation for you guys. Yeah. And again, it's designing off of the past is, I mean, it's very much what everybody's doing these days, is designing off of the past and going into aesthetics of the past. I mean, look, it's funny because when you look at watches as fashion, when you look at jewelry as fashion like this, fashion has its phases, right? And I always kind of point this out to all the Submariner fanboys and the steel sports guys who push that all the time. Well, if that's the case and it is fashion, right? Like, fashion goes in and out of style. And I would be very wary to kind of think about, like, the term when we think grandfather's watch, right? We think of the watches our grandfathers were wearing, and those were generally probably precious metal dress watches. Really think about what watches your grandkids are looking at, your wrist with, and saying, do I really want to wear a grandpa's watch, right? And that could be a steel sports fucking watch. So the cycle of fashion, I guess you could say. And look, I know a lot of watchmakers are going to their past, and you can see, as Bateman's kind of alluding to here, the comparison to the new Planet Ocean, and where you can see the angularity, you can see similarity in the watch. Again, I can see this aesthetic, being definitely a more retro aesthetic. Is that really what the market needs today, right? Do we really need another, another watch that looks like a watch from the 70s? Do we really need that anymore? Is that really gonna, is it really gonna entice buyers to like fucking chase after it? I don't know. I don't really think so. I think that after the COVID era, during the COVID era, everything was fucking going nuts, right? Rising tide floats all fucking boats. When we get out of that, I think that, like, for watches to really become icons or take off or really be those knock out of the park type deals, unless you're Rolex and everything you make is going to be hot, like, I think these other brands, they really got to step it up a lot more than just new dials or, looking at the past and say, well, we're just going to fucking use the bit of that case design and change this. And oh my God, we no longer have lyre lugs, guys. We're very fucking angular now. It's like, cool, man. I'm not saying it's a bad design. I'm not saying this is bad, but this doesn't excite me. And I mean, I don't know if for you guys in the chat this excites you, but I mean, this watch doesn't excite me. It's a nice watch. If you want to buy one, or if you're in the market for a Planet Ocean, probably a good idea because they've just refreshed it. It's a 4th generation, no helium escape valve, smaller case size. a little bit thick, not too thick. You know what you would expect from a watch that dives to this depth. No date on it, so definitely a cleaner dial, more symmetrical. Yeah, a lot of good going for it, but like Lucy says, my dick is not hard, and I think that's. I always kind of told this to Mike the Snake, because Mike the Snake, I think, used to get overwhelmed by the whole talk of like high horology and Higgy's fucking like voodoo that he likes to speak on YouTube to just sound like he's some fucking PhD in horology. Like I had to kind of bring Mike the Snake a little bit down to earth here and tell him, look, like these watches, even the Patek Philippe's, they're not made necessarily for the fucking guys who have that are, I keep saying this, PhD in horology. That's no fucking thing. I don't think called a PhD in horology, but you guys kind of get the point. It's not meant for the snob, right? Like they make 70,000 watches a year at Patek Philippe. Like they're not just for collectors, right? They do appreciate collectors, and certain watches they want to only have in collectors' hands because they don't want them being flipped and whatnot. But I mean, they are making watches for the masses just like everybody else, and so there's a certain level that a basic understanding of, is this beautiful or not, is something that I think everybody can see. It will be different for everybody, but I think as a designer, if you want to really make an icon, you probably want to have more than the average say it's a fucking knockout of the park. And I think this one's just, I think there's just too much variation. I think there's too much variance between people's how people are describing this watch. Some people love it, some people hate it. It's not getting unanimous fan favor, and that's the way I see it. It's a cool release. I mean, it's something for us to talk about. Don't get me wrong, but like Loose Tooth said, my dick is not hard, and that is just where I see this piece. That isn't Bateman's arm, so I don't care. All right. Angelica says, sometimes I like watches better depending on who owns them. Yeah, I mean that's the influence that's out there, and I think Archie is definitely. Whatever he talks about his Breguet, half of what he does is just name drop. Well, Breguet was. Do you know who Abraham Louis Breguet was? He invented the tourbillon. Do you know what a tourbillon is? Right, like just name dropping. Right? Napoleon wore a fucking, or Winston Churchill. Like, it's like, dude, like, who gives a fuck? Number one, that was not the Breguet brand that you're wearing today. That was the Breguet of the past. That is not the Phoenix brand that you are wearing on your wrist. I mean, the name may say Breguet, but that is not the same fucking watch. So yeah, name drop and influence. I'd say just make up your own fucking opinion. HR, you are not bended. This is garbage tan. Previous model is way better. Fuckface. There you go. That's 30. Danny, do you like the Le Mans because Marcelo owns it? I actually do like it because that guy owns it. I think it's probably one of the only guys in the world that owns that watch that isn't like some ultra fucking, ultra client for an AD. Did Marcelo buy, some heavy hitters from the AD? Yeah. Probably at a time when, like, again, those watches weren't necessarily hype baby, especially like the Platona. I mean, the Platona used to sit in the case all the fucking time. I remember days when you could walk into any AD and buy a fucking Platona. They couldn't give those things away. And I would always go on and try them on because I really enjoyed like how they felt on the wrist. Very hefty on the wrist. But Marcelo, I think, bought his watches around that time when it was before a lot of that hype really built up. And again, he doesn't really have an ultra collection, right? He probably hasn't spent $1 million plus at his authorized dealer. I don't think so, at least, to get that kind of a piece. So that's why I do like it, is because he's that one guy out there that actually owns this watch. Is pretty much a regular guy that has, a nice collection, but it's nothing fucking special.
That doesn't even have a business anymore. Now he's retired. How's that?
Well, yeah, but it's like, think about GMT. Like, I mean, Marcelo's collection is nice, but if you do the math of how much this collection is worth without the Le Mans, it's like there's a lot of people with similar, dollar. JJ has a collection that's probably worth as much as Marcelo.
Oh yeah,
and a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
He's like your normal.
But it's yeah, in a way he is and he isn't, because your normal collector wouldn't go, like you're saying, wouldn't go out and buy a platinum, watch, for example. It wouldn't happen. Very rare. He's an exception in that way.
Yeah, we have people like that, right? Like, I mean, Uzi's like that, right? Uzi specifically wants precious metal. There are, like, Professor was like that. I don't know if you remember our good friend Professor.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
He used to always call, and that's why him and Saad got along, because Saad hated steel watches. He said steel watches are for
Yes.
poor people, right? He's like, he only bought precious metal. So there are those people that only buy precious metal. And when you were buying them at a time when they weren't, you know, crazy hype, like I understand why the AD rewarded Marcelo on it. I think it's just one of the best stories out there. I don't know if there's another story out there of a guy who's just an average, and by average I mean he's definitely not an average collector to like the general population, but like amongst our kind of group of people, I know
Yeah,
we,
yeah.
we can name
It's pretty
Goldberg, we can
average. It's
name
pretty average.
yeah Goldberg, Bear, JJ. Like there's so many people that have as much in their collection, if not more, than Marcelo does.
Oh yeah, yeah. But like I said, you said you nailed it. It's a story, the way that he got, the way
Yeah,
that
I
he
think it's
got it,
cool.
sort of.
What I do like
Yeah.
about stories, man, GMT, is like one thing I'll never forget is your date story, right? How it was, you know, your father-in-law's, you know, it kind of inspired
Yeah.
you from your father-in-law and stuff like that.
Yes,
And
yes.
you
Yeah.
know,
And I wanted to bring something back into the family that reminded them of their heyday, which it did, because you should have seen the reaction of my mother-in-law. It brought a tear to her, because she remembered the good times, and she's happy that I'm successful enough to bring it back into the family, and that meant a lot to her. So yeah,
it's always a good
yeah,
story to me. Like it's one that I really enjoy. I think that like it means something. Like that's when watch collecting really becomes interesting. Is when, you know, like, just like me with the perpetual calendar, not, you know, the 5320 is not the best iteration you could say of a perpetual calendar. It is a modular perpetual calendar. The 5327, which is the one that most people, identify with, is a integrated perpetual calendar. We got a guest here, GMT, for some comedic relief. We'll bring him on stage.
yes,
Right,
bring him on.
meow.
Hey Tam, can you take down that hairy arm? I don't want to get striked. No, I don't want to get you. We don't want you to get striked. And you called me a hairy prick, but I didn't call you a hairy prick.
What?
Everybody's moaning about my wedding was fake. Well, I only did it for the super chats, but that doesn't mean my wedding was fake. Now, does it? I didn't say your wedding was fake.
No, you didn't, Cuxy Poo. But you did get a Seiko from Marcelo. Marcelo gave a gift, and he wasn't even invited to the wedding, unfortunately.
Well, ultimately, I can invite whoever I want. When I met Marcello, his body odor was disgusting. He didn't say my body odor was disgusting, did he? Did he?
Well, I think the first words Marcelo said to you was, "Wow, you're so fat." Yeah, that's the first thing he says to you.
Listen, Tan. It's not my fault. I like eating chocolate and wearing Ralph Lauren polos, only with a big horse because I'm so morbidly obese.
Cuxy Poo,
Right?
I've heard rumors that like you were lured to Dubai Watch Week due to like the fame of Dubai chocolate. Is there any truth to that? Are you in Dubai? What's happening here?
Well, I am in Dubai, but I don't really like it because my wife doesn't let me go out when I'm in Dubai.
You're just groveling in bed, just fucking, Dubai chocolates all over the face, right? Just fucking dripping down, dripping down, dripping
And
down.
I say to Archie, come on, rub it in, big boy. I don't rub it into you. Oh.
All right, that was Cuxy Poo, guys. Cuxy Poo. He's not happy with this hairy arm that we have on the screen. And Angelic is really enjoying the underpanties of the Archie avatar. Now, GMT, like I said, stories super important to me, right? Like I bought my perpetual calendar because, and again, it's not the most, probably the best iteration you could say from a technical design of it. Oh, we have another guest, guys. I think I think this is live on scene from Dubai. A new guest here. Let's bring him on.
Hey Tan, thanks for letting me on. I tried to ban this guy this morning because he was talking about me, and I never talked about him. I never said anything about him, and he started giving shots at me, and I was like, "Wow, you can't having shots about me eating so much chocolate." I mean, I banned him, Tan, but you unbanned him. What's fucking going on here?
Look, boys, there is no banning in the Archieverse. Maybe a timeout, maybe a day you're gone, but look, we believe in having viewers here, even though, like, Jax doesn't want to comment in our chat. Him viewing our shows helps us out. We appreciate everybody. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that thumbs down if you don't like this content. We appreciate our viewers, and we don't ban people around here, Luxy. Boo! That's just not what we do around here. How's that Dubai chocolate treating you over out in Dubai? Is it melting? Is it You keep it in
This
the fridge. What's
Dubai
happening?
chocolate is so overrated. It's got this green stuff in it called kanafi. I think it's called kanafi and some
Kanafi.
pistachios in it, but it's not really the chocolate I like. I like the Cadbury's, the dairy milk.
You sound like Dobby from Harry Potter. Oh, we got another guest here. All right, we got guests upon guests upon guests. All right, let's go to guest mode. We got 2 guests. Bring them on the top of the screen.
Tam, can you make sure everybody's labels are up so everybody can see the name? Can you make sure everyone can see my name?
Yeah, let me.
And this is a troll. This is a troll, Tan. Get rid of him quick. It's a troll. It's a troll, Tan. Strike.
Does anybody else live in their mom's basement?
Now, Mike the Expired Steak. So Jamie was on the other day, and he was like Jamie Opulent, so I changed his name to Jamie the Shake. And then Mike shows up as Mike the Snake, so I changed it to Mike the Shake. So it's just like the Dubai trip is getting fucking all kinds of wild, boys. We got Luxy, who's like fucking rubbing Dubai chocolate all over himself. We got Mike the Shake here, who's shaking himself in his budgie smugglers, right?
Hey,
So
Tam, do you think you could buy one of my vases?
Joe's calling you a porn bomber. Mike the Shake would not fucking, he would not porn bomb our fucking show.
I never burned your Pantera. Why did you burn my Pantera?
Hey, the Pantera didn't burn in a fire. I told you that, you fucking idiot.
Mikey, don't give in to these people.
Hey, shut the fuck up. I'll do what I want, play.
Mike, it's almost Christmas. Mike, I want to ask you a question. It's almost Christmas, right? And you had a very interesting origin story of Santa Claus. Now, maybe all of my letters to Santa have been sent to the wrong pole. Like I kept sending him to the North Pole, but you're telling me Santa was, after he left the Middle East, he went to the South Pole. Is there any truth to this, Mike?
Well, Tom, it's funny you should ask that. After Santa Claus left Saudi Arabia, he had to come and fix my Pantera because it had milky oil. And that was all of the kids' wishes, all and stuff, because of the milky oil. But the car's still fine, man. And then I'm in a bit of a romantic relationship with my roommate, and he said, "Do you want to make out in the Pantera?" And I said, "It burned.
The Pantera never burned. And the Pantera is not.
Oh
to
shit!
be
Wait,
discussed.
I mean, it didn't. I didn't burn. Hey, shut the fuck up, son. Shut the fuck up, man.
My stories are true.
Hey,
His
Ted,
stories.
you know the other guys fucking hate that HR truck. It keeps on going on about that fucking bluesy, man. I hope it burns in the Skoda.
Yes,
Yeah.
we should ban the HR. He's a bit of a tosser, really. We should ban him from the shows because he comes in and he's at ya.
I mean, HR was described as the AliExpress narc, the Temu narc. Harsh words for HR. I thought HR was his own individual. I think he's got his own shtick.
You know what they say? Homage is the highest form of appreciation. That's what they said in that glory hole porn shop I used to run. Oh.
I asked Mike what were the top 3 best things about like working in the porn shop, and he couldn't really describe like good things about the porn shop. He was just like, I like the pool place next door. It's like, no, man, I want to know about what was good about working in the fucking shop.
Let me tell you, Tan.
Tell me.
Behind where the counter was a little bit where I could jack off, and when any hot mamas would come in, I'd fucking jack off, and if there was a cubby hole underneath the till, that was number 1. Number 2, I got to test out all the fucking vibrators on my asshole. I quite like that. And I can also rub the spermicide all over my face. Oh, Pantera.
The Pantera was hexed, boys. The Pantera was hexed. Lux. Dubai, you made it out there. You're rubbing chocolate all over Jock's titties. Like, well, when are we gonna see a gonzo of you fucking Dubai chocolate it up? Getting fucking down and dirty with OC. What's the drum here, Lux? What are we gonna see over the next couple of days?
And that all depends on the super chats because me and Archie go 50-50 and then he takes 20%. So I need to work out what I'll have left to buy some more dairy milk because I can't be affording this Dubai chocolate. It costs too much.
All right. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, I'll let you finish.
It's too thick on the outside. When I rub it on my nipples and it melts, the kanafi scratches my nipples. It's not pleasant.
The Kanafi guys. All right, I'm gonna run a quick clip, and then I want to talk about this this little ranking that Surdy Danny sent me. He asked my opinion on it, so I'm gonna play that, and we're gonna talk about that right after this clip of Santa Claus's origin story.
Okay.
I said the story isn't as real as what they're explaining. It's not the real
Oh
story
no,
they give us.
those three wise men were guided by an alien who guided them
Here we go.
to Santa Claus's birth, and then they brought Santa Claus gifts of gold, incense, and myrrh, and and he was raised in the Middle East, but then moved to the South Pole around age 24, I believe, and set everything up, and put it in motion, and then he went through his whole crucifixion thing, comeback thing, and disappear thing.
Gold, incense, and myrrh. I don't know if GMT's driving, if GMT could see this on the screen. Surdy Danny sent me this levels of luxury watches, and he asked me, Tan, what is your opinion on this? And I'll read it out for those. It might be a little small on the screen, but I'll read it out to you. Right at the top, Richard Mille is for the filthy rich. Then you got Patek Philippe, the old money king. Then you got AP, which is new money. Then you got Rolex, wanna be rich. Below that is Cartier, the C-suite manager. Below that is IWC/JLC, supervisor, the first bonus check, and then below that is Tag Heuer, Longines, Tissot, and Seiko Presage. So I don't know, GMT, if you've seen this before, or if you can see it on the screen right now. You're muted, so I don't know if you're going to give us an opinion. But definitely unmute yourself if you want to join in. But I got Danny on the panel with me, Danny. So I don't know. I think some of this is right. I think some of this is off. How would you see this kind of like levels of luxury watches?
Are you asking me now?
I'm asking you, buddy, because you sent me this fucking photo.
Yeah, I think Richard Mille for filthy rich, because it's just a rich man's G-Shock, and I don't get a Richard Mille.
Yep.
Old money with Patek Philippe, I could sort of agree. I don't know if I'd put Patek Philippe or Rolex as old money.
Like that. Yeah. Go ahead.
Audemars Piguet, right? You might not agree with this. I'd put that in the wanna be rich category.
Yep. I can see that.
C-suite manager. What's that? What does that? I'm not too sure what that means.
I just think it's like a middle manager, basically.
I don't know. I'm just trying to see for a category to put it in, because I won't really put it in any category of the categories that are given here.
Okay.
First bonus check. I'd probably put Tagger or Longines in that.
Yep. Yeah, I can see that for sure. And then office worker / student. I mean, you've got like Tissot, you've got Seiko, right? Like,
yeah.
I would agree with some of this, Danny. I think that's what I sent to you. Is I agree with you 100% on Richard Mille. I think you have to be filthy fucking rich to have a Richard Mille. It's just you're not buying a Richard Mille on a fucking budget. And I mean, most people that are in our community have watches or collections that are above $100,000. They probably could nuke all of their watches and buy a Richard Mille if they really, really, really wanted to. But I don't think a lot of people do that. I think if you're wearing a Richard Mille, you're filthy fucking rich. The next three, I think, are very interchangeable. Depends on the watch, right? Like certain APs, you could be old money. Certain Patek Philippe's, you could be new money. You know, like Aquanaut, Nautilus, people could say it's new money, right? Rolex, I mean, Rolex could be old money for sure. It depends on the Rolex you have. Rolex could be new money. I don't think Rolex in today's day and age is necessarily want to be rich. Where I could see Rolex as want to be rich, Danny, is probably like if you bought like a 1601 Datejust, 1603, like a Datejust that is probably an Omega price point, right? Like you probably could be in the want to be rich, but there's just not a lot of people doing that, at least around the collecting community these days. Not a lot of people are buying those vintage watches.
That makes perfect sense, because buying like a 1601 and pulling your sleeve to your elbow to tell time so everyone sees you've got wearing a Rolex, but it's it's trying a bit hard, isn't it?
But Rolex, a lot of it can be new money, right? There are people, like you said, I mean, look, I was guilty of that. When I bought my first Rolex, it was to flex, like straight up. I'm not gonna lie about it.
Yeah, well, everyone really buys them to flex a lot, don't they? I think everyone's got that in them.
Yeah, before I got into watch collecting, dude, like it was just I wanted to get a Rolex. I wanted it because it was a Rolex, and I wanted to look like.
In saying that, just quickly, because I'm serving
Mhm.
at the same time.
Yeah.
Me too, when I bought a Rolex, it wasn't more to buy a Rolex because it was a Rolex. It was just a level of success that I had in that point of time in my life that I wanted to, elaborate to my family and friends. So
What was that Rolex GMT, if you don't mind me asking?
that was believe it or not, it was a Turnograph. Now you're gonna say to me,
wow.
why'd you buy a Turnograph out of all the watches? Because I knew the Turnograph was the least copied watch, and I was scared because eBay was new at the time, right?
Yeah.
And I knew there was a lot of fakes out there, and I knew the Turnograph was one of the watches that people wouldn't copy because it wasn't as renowned to be acquired sort of thing by other people.
No, that makes sense.
That's
That makes sense because
an
the copied ones, the copied ones are going to be something like a Soba or a Daytona out there. So that does make sense what you're saying there, GMT.
What about you, Danny? What was your first Rolex?
I've still got it. It was a Rolex Date.
Rolex,
You know,
yeah,
it's
I know
like
exactly.
a Date, just but 2 mil smaller, and
34,
they didn't use as many premium materials on it. They used a stainless steel
Well, I know something funny.
bezel.
When I went into buy my Datejust 2, so this is probably like circa 2012, which is the first Rolex I bought at an AD. I had bought obviously pre-owned prior to that, but when I bought my first one at AD, I was between the 40 mil sub at the time, ceramic. This is when the black was still out, GMT, and the Datejust 2 was still out. So I remember looking at the Air King. And at the time, the Air King wasn't the Air King you think of today. It was the 34 mil Air King. And my sales associate, this is 2012, so this is like 13 fucking years ago. I remember my sales associate saying, "Bro, you don't want that watch. It's too fucking small." And I was just like, you're kind of like, I just kind of want that 80 experience, and it was more affordable than the Datejust and the the subby and stuff like that. But yeah, I totally get it, man. I totally get the 34.
It wasn't heard of like the Air King, was it? It was just like, when you get a packet of variety crisps and you always eat the best flavors.
Yep.
And there's one flavor left, and you just eat it if you're forced to. That was the Air King then, wasn't it? Because the Air King were pretty much a Datejust, wasn't it then?
I mean, it was, right? And I mean, the argument can be made that Rolex only makes a certain number of watches, and everything else is just a variation of that, right? Submariner to a GMT. Datejust to a Date-8. I mean, they're very similar watches.
Yeah, true. But that's what keeps them. That's what keeps it good, because they're not blasting all these different models out. Like Omega, they'll bring shitloads of stuff out, won't they? And you can't keep up to it. Every Omega that they bring out's a limited edition.
I think you're spot on. I think that's what is, that is what defines Rolex. When you think of Rolex DNA. Right, oyster case, sometimes fluted bezel. Right, fluted bezel is definitely part of the DNA. Oyster case, oyster bracelet, definitely part of the DNA. Jubilee bracelet, part of the DNA. Very identifiable to Rolex.
Yeah, because when you look at a sub, right, don't matter if it's ceramic, pre-ceramic, you always know it's a sub. There's only been, over all these years, there's only been slight innovations, aren't there? You can always tell a sub, like some watch, it'll start as something and it'll go into something else, and you won't even think it was the same watch. It's still got its own characteristics about it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna bring up a watch here. Let's bring up the old. This is a nice looking watch. Like I remember this watch, and I'm sure you guys do because this is not super old. But you guys all remember the old Cellini Moon phase, right? Beautiful looking watch.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't have Rolex DNA, right? You got a Calatrava style case. You've got a moon phase. I mean, the only thing real Rolex on this is really just the crown and the dial and the name. Like, I mean, there is Rolex DNA from like ancient fucking Rolexes from way back when, but this is why Rolex always failed at the dress watch. I mean, look, not like they do have great dress watches that are very successful. Datejust, Date-8, amazing dress watches that are very successful. But when you think of dress watch on a leather strap, this is where I think they failed a lot, is because you lose all that DNA that Danny described, right? That looks like a Rolex. This does not look like a Rolex. You take that crown off and you put another fucking brand name on it, you would not be able to tell this is a fucking Rolex at all.
Yeah, if you were driving on a motorbike, right, on this, and a bit of mud splurted up and it covered where it says Rolex and that crown, and someone's seen that watch, they won't be able to tell it's a Rolex. They think it were some sort of Lange, or not even Lange, something else. You wouldn't be able to tell. But if you had a sub on and the same situation happened, you'd know straight away it's still a sub, wouldn't you?
Well, exactly, right? Like, or you would assume it's a sub, or a Panerai, right? Look at Panerai is one of the most identifiable watches from across the room.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Yeah, big crown guard on the Luminors. Like, you know that's a Panerai. You don't have to, like, put Panerai on the fucking dial, right? You know it's a
Yeah,
Panerai.
I was just going to say that. You don't even have to have Panerai wrote dial to tell it's a Panerai.
But this one, Rolex truly, like, they've struggled over time to sell these kind of dress watches because they lose a lot of that DNA. What I think Rolex should have done, if they wanted to really kind of go atcha against like brands like Patek Philippe, I think they should have kept some of their DNA. I'm going to show you
Yeah.
one on the screen here, the Patalone. Now look at this, right? This, if you saw this from far away, you could probably tell it's most likely a Rolex, just from the bracelet.
It's that's the triple day moon face in it, but it's got the like day casing and the bracelet on it. Let me see if I got the old fashioned hands there from the forgot what they used them on. But yeah, you can even though the dial's different, you can still tell that's Rolex.
Yeah, these are Dauphine style hands, right? So
Dauphine, that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, these hands you would see as like typical on a Calatrava. So again, you can achieve the same goal here, right? Like two really different watches, right? Look at this one right here, which completely is like, yeah, they're trying to be Patek Philippe here. They're trying to be like,
yeah,
but here they're Rolex, through and through, right? But different. Different. You got one of the cool things about these vintage Rolexes. They're one of the few brands out there. Blancpain is another brand that does this, where they put the face on the moon face. I always liked that. I always thought that was super cool. That fucking, this is like Marcelo's face when he doesn't get super chats. It's like it's fucking. It's just it's funny to me to see this shit on the fucking watch, right? Sorry, Danny, go ahead.
But it's just them little touches that make it like we all go wild for a little bit of red writing on a dial. Will pay more for a watch, which Clive sums up well. He's got the white 60. Is it 16680? He's got. Is it
1680?
1680. He's got in it. Yeah.
Yep.
And he's got the white one, and he says, no, I ain't got a red one, but there's no difference. And therein is right what he's saying. There's no difference, but we all go mental just for a bit of that red writing. How much we'll pay just for that little bit of red writing? It's mad, isn't it?
I owned a 1680 red sub Mark IV, and I'll see if I can find my old sub. I
had the Mark III. I think I had mine more. I don't have it anymore.
Mark III is when you go from Mark 1, 2, and 3, those are really nice. Mark IV, Mark 5, Mark 6. Mark IV I think is kind of that good sweet spot. I'll see if I can find my old 1680 in one of my old Instagram photos. And you can kind of see some of the watches I've owned as well. I'll pull these up once I get that 1680 up. Come on. All right, here we go. I found my old 1680 red here. So I'll pull it up for you here. All right, this was my 1680 red. So you can tell it's a Mark IV. I'll zoom it in a little bit. Just from the position of the equal sign, it's kind of between the A and the R. Whereas I believe the Mark V, the Submariner, the A aligns with the equal sign. So you'll be able to kind of see the difference, there. But, I had it on this like fucking Bond NATO strap that I put. I had the original bracelet and everything else. It was a great watch. And it was funny because I bought this watch and Archie had like, I was talking to Archie back in the day, and Archie was like, never buy these red subs because they're faked a lot and people paint over the white and stuff like that. And I mean, the white dials were there was a white version of it later after all the reds came out, but the service dials were also white as well on these, right? So
yeah.
But this was a beautiful example, dude. I had like, if you look at the color, right, it's like an eggshell white. You know, the hands, the loom plots, like we're
It's
basically
lovely.
matching. Yeah, just really really nice. On
I
that
like.
piece.
I liked it better when they didn't put the white gold indices around it. I think it looked better. Do you know, like these?
Yeah, like it's a
Oh,
vintage.
give me 2 minutes. My audio's gone. Let me rejoin.
I'll show you guys a couple other pieces that I've owned. If you guys want to peruse my old, whatever my old collections used to be, I'll show you guys some old pieces that I used to have. So here I have on the screen a 1603 date just that I really enjoy this watch. Basic silver dial, and you can tell it's a 1603. I think Danny's back here. So Danny, I pulled up my say something.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
I had this exact same 1601.
This is not a 1601. This is a 1603.
Oh.
Yeah,
1603. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, because you can see it's an engine turned bezel, not the fluted bezel.
Non,
I really enjoyed this
non-quick
watch.
setting it.
Yeah, non-quick sets. It definitely is a bit of a bitch.
It's a bastard.
Yeah, it was a bit of a bitch to set the fucking date on this one because you had to literally turn it. But look, just a cool, cool watch to just wear. A good work watch. I remember wearing this watch all over Europe. I was on the train from like Amsterdam to like some other fucking random town in the Netherlands, just enjoying this watch. No worries in the world about someone gonna like nick the watch off me or whatever. I really think these are underrated. Like, it's small. I get it. People don't like 36 mil watches, but I think for the price points right now, these are really good. They're really good pieces for people that really want to just enjoy a pretty honest Rolex.
But if they never brought a 40 mil date just out, would people not like the 36 mil one?
It's a good point. Like I said, around the time I had this one, I had the 41. I had the date just 2, right, which is a 41 mil. And everybody kind of hated on it, right? They're like, "Oh, the case is not proportional," and this and that. And they ended up making the date just 41 because of that, right? Same thing kind of with the Submariner, right? The Submariner 40 ceramic, like everyone hated the case. It's the super case. They were like, "Oh, it's fucking off," and then they slimmed down the lugs on the 41, right? So, look, it makes sense. On that, you can see my old Reverso here. This is my Reverso. What was it called? It's 976. Cool piece. I actually sold this to Jin a while ago. Back I ended up buying it back from him, but okay, car stuff. We'll get past car stuff. We'll get past car stuff. We'll get past.
Hi there, Ted. Do you garage that car there back?
This is old fucking car stuff here. I gotta go all the way down. I had watches. I had cars. I'll go back to, so you can see some of my old Seikos. We got this Seiko. I think this is a fucking SKX on a TGV strap. Look at this TGV fucking strap right here.
I thought you fucking pen and bust on it. It looks like ink marks.
The TGV strap, dude. This is my old Bulova Accutron tuning fork watch. I put it on a NATO here, tuning fork piece. What was kind of shit about this was really cool watch, but nobody could service this shit. Like it was going fucking crazy at one point, and just couldn't find anyone to service this watch.
I think a lot of people had that problem, didn't they?
Definitely. You can see my Batman. This is kind of the watch we were talking about of the day. One of them, Seamaster Professional. It's the old Bond watch, aluminum bezel. Danny. Again, hated this scalloped bezel. Wasn't really my thing.
They need to update the game, don't they, Amiga, with the design. They need to change the bracelet.
This is a very cool piece. This one, very special. This is one of the watches I actually regret selling. If you see here at the bottom, it says TAD, TAD dial. So very, very early version of the Seiko speed timer. This watch actually had a date stamp of March 1969. So it was actually out in the market before the El Primero came out. So this was one of the first actual automatic chronographs that ever was out there in the market. So it was in really nice condition. As you can see, ghost fucking bezel on the inside. Like it was nice, bro. This was one of my OG 62 Mosses that I had. Again, you can see the no wabi on the loom. The loom was real nice.
Well, that's a proper work watch, innit? That's a proper tool watch. That's how it should be.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that piece. This is when you're getting the old Patel Philippe and my old Nautilus blue dial. 5711 that I talk about every once in a while that I used to own, the old 5711. Seiko and Sushi, Seiko's, what else we got here?
Did you have a Black Bear 58? Well, that, yeah, you have, haven't you?
I do. I'll go back up to the watches, other watches, because it's like a lot of car stuff. This is my PAM 111. Check out this this gator strap, bro. Like the horn strap, the dual horns on this was. I got that from Aaron Bespoke. Really cool piece. Like as you guys can see, I had all kinds of different watches. Right, you got an Explorer 2, 16570 black dial. Cool piece. I really enjoyed this Explorer 2.
I remember when you couldn't give them away, them Explorer 2s.
This is
That's a Spyderco.
Yeah, it's a Spyderco Delica knife, my Rolex Hulk, and then my Explorer 2. And then yeah, you know, like you see here. So this is Tudor Black Bay gilt dial, right? This is the chronometer version, not the ETA. I had the ETA version as well.
I've had a few of them.
Yeah. Pepsi. This was actually this was the demo version. So this was the event at Royal de Versailles in Toronto. It was the year the Pepsi came out, so 393 weeks ago was when this photo was posted. So number of years ago. And Ronnie Paul, you guys all remember Ronnie Paul from the Mike the Snake Pantera video where he says he crashed and died in the Pantera. He took me to this event. He had an extra ticket, and he's like, "Hey, do you want to go?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, absolutely." So we went there, and they did the release of this watch. And I remember putting this watch on the wrist, Danny, and it was like, to me, this was the perfect Rolex. I could not imagine like how more perfect you can get of a Rolex. So I was super impressed, you know, when I saw that. Is this my old Patex? This is my 5127.
That's lovely.
Yeah, rose gold. Similar to Archie's, his had a different bezel. But there was that one. My Hulk, as you guys can see, my old Hulk. This is I'll tell you a story about this Richard Mille. Dude, this Richard Mille. So this was the day Jin and I went to Richard Mille. We were meeting up with Ronnie Paul. This was a couple weeks later after that show. We were meeting up with Ronnie Paul, and Jin had taken that 5127 and dropped it on this. You can see it's kind of like a rubberized mat behind me of where they have the watches. And the Richard Mille like sales associates were like, they weren't in the room and they heard the fucking bang and they come like running thinking we dropped it. But I'm just like, nah, it was just my Patek Philippe. Nothing to worry. Tudor GMT.
I didn't realize you had one. I had one of these.
Dude, I've had almost everything, man.
Do you know that Tudor GMT though? Did you find you couldn't set it right? Were either too tight or too loose on your wrist?
Definitely. I had that vibe from it, so it wasn't the best watch. I think I got rid of that pretty quickly. This is the Mark II Explorer 39. I always found this watch. I don't know what it was. It didn't really fit proportionally for some reason. A little loom shot here for you guys on the 39. Let's see here. I think we're getting into. This is Doc BBW's watch, by the way. His 4-digit Daytona.
Doc's got the best collection. Yeah,
this is his piece. We were we met up for him. Me and Jin met up with Doc for dinner. I think this was at like a Thai restaurant or whatever. And Doc brought this. I asked him, "Do you mind bringing the 4-digit Daytona?" And Doc never like wears that watch, doesn't take it out anywhere.
Yeah.
But he like begrudgingly brought it because I basically was like, come on, man, I gotta see it. This is my annual calendar. So Mark Goldberg calls this the Luigi dial because I had a Italian disc. And Archie, in his video, if you ever see, there's a video of Archie made, like, for me, actually. He didn't ask him to do it, didn't pay him to do it. It's called, like, My Greatest Patek Philippe Influence. He talks in this video how he claims he, like, bullied me into selling this watch when I had it. But this was actually pretty rare because the slate gray dial with white gold was a very rare combo to this piece. And one cool thing about the 5035, this is the first iteration of the annual calendar ever made, was the numeral 4 here, the IV, which like watchmakers don't do that. You know, they'll do like the triple I, the 4 I, sorry, here instead of IV. So it's pretty unique to this watch is they use IV for that from a symmetrical perspective, I guess. I don't know, but
Oh yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, it's a cool. I always like this shot here. This was, I think, with my M4 at the time. The Luigi dial. You can see the back of the watch and everything else. So yeah, man, that's a couple of my watches. A lot of people they like to ask questions about like the kind of watches I've owned. Again, I've hey Russ, nice to see you, man. I've been watching the chat. But yeah, I've owned all kinds of stuff, right? From Seikos to Patek Philippe's, Nautilus to Calatravas to annual calendars, perpetual calendars, all kinds of Rolexes. I've owned it all, man. And that's why I said it's very subjective. Watch collecting is very subjective. It's whatever you like. And you and I both like that Datejust, Danny, right? That 1603. It's just a cool watch.
Yeah.
Not the most popular piece, I'd say, out there, and I don't think a lot of people would be that hyped about it. But for me, it's it's one of the best. It's out there. Where's AC3 servicing yet, Ladyboy? I assume. For that, you know what? I'm gonna play an AC3 Ladyboy clip just for this great comment.
I did go into a Ladyboy bar once because I just wanted to see what it was like. Cost about 2,000 baht. There was nothing nasty or vicious. Quite well mannered. Chance to feel the breasts. Wanted to see what it was like.
There you go. There's AC3 with Ladyboys. Like Archie's gonna probably be on in about half an hour. He's I did a little bit of a pre-show, a couple of hours. I thought, I felt like talking watches. This watch just came out. The Omega Planet Ocean. We did do a pretty in-depth look at it. Danny, did you give me your opinion on this? Like, were you like you said you kind of liked the Aquaterra, right? You weren't really. I don't know if it wasn't your thing.
It's nice. I like it and I hate it at the same time.
Like, if you got this on a steep discount, would you take it? Or is it like, doesn't matter what price it is, you wouldn't wear it?
I'd probably buy it, try convince myself that I liked it for a couple of days, wear it for a week, and then put it away.
At what price point would it have to be for you to be like, all right, I'll take it?
I don't know. It's like, how much is it? So,
2,000 pounds, 2,500 pounds. What's your price on this one?
yeah, I'd buy it for 25 because I fucking sell it straight away.
2,500 pounds, right? Like, and that's kind of the classic sales tactic. If it was free, would you take it today? And if they say yes, then it's just about price. And where does it need to be?
I don't hate it. I don't know. It's the case that I'm trying to make sense of. It's more of a new age Speedmaster case on a diving sort of bezel. I don't know. It's like an hybrid. It's sort of like, it reminds me of like a Planet Ocean and Seamaster. Do you know the 300? Not the Seamaster Pro. The 300's with like a mix of a Speedmaster case altogether. So like an hybrid.
I'm going to ask you guys, I don't know if GMT is still on the panel, if he's listening. I'm going to show you a watch, Danny, that's a pretty, where's the name of this watch? This is a watch that is pretty cool for a couple of reasons. I'm going to see if I can find here's the Christie's, ad for it, or the Christie's auction for it. So this is the Patek Philippe 3940 perpetual calendar. Now, what's unique about this is it was owned by a guy named Michael Ovitz, who I believe was the president of Disney at one point in time. And it's a piece unique perpetual calendar. Okay. What's interesting about this is the watch actually, I think it was like made in like 2014. What year is this? Yeah, 2014. Okay. So this is about 10 years, Danny, after they discontinued this watch. So basically, he was like such a big VIP at Patek Philippe that he said, look, I need you guys to bring this back from the dead. And he designed it in a very interesting way because these hands, for example, you can kind of remember if you saw my 5035 annual calendar, were luminous hands. They didn't have this on the 3940. Breguet numerals, right? On the 3940 and the salmon dial. So very, very unique. He got it all done, but he got it kind of revived from the dead. So my question to you guys, if GMT's still on the panel, if not, this is going to go to you, Danny. If you went to Rolex and Rolex said, we'll give you any watch you want, right? Whether that's a new watch like a Le Mans or you can create anything from the past, what would you ask for?
6538,
I
big crown.
fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. All right, 6538. GMT, are you on the panel? I don't know if you're still here or not. Hopefully you are.
Yeah, I am, but that's a hard question, man.
Come on, GMT,
Holy
give it
fuck.
to me. Just think any watch.
I can't, man.
From Rolex. While you have a think
man.
about it,
Let me think about it.
I'm gonna pull up Danny's piece, but Danny knows it's gonna be in the style that I like.
Explorer dial.
You know it, baby. You know it. Is this a 6538? I don't know if this is a 6538. Maybe it's not, but you can kind of get the idea of it, right? It's
they're all similar, weren't they? 55 and 60 for 5. They're all similar, weren't they, that era?
Now, so Danny's talking about the Dr. No, the James Bond Submariner. Now, why I say it's 369, why I say I would agree with Danny 6538. I would ask for the Explorer. The reason why I say that, Danny, is because what was interesting about Nick Folks's book on the Submariner was a bit of the unknown history from that book, where a lot of people talk about the Submariner being an evolution of the turnograph, which is true to an extent, but there was history before that. And in that book, Nick Folks describes how, and that is very interesting for you guys, I think, in the UK, was the Rolex themselves were trying to test out the idea of a dive watch. And so they were sending explorers, I think it's a 6105, explorers to naval vessels up in Scotland. And they had no contract with the military at the time. They were just, you knew somebody, maybe you knew the admiral or you knew the captain or whatever it may be. They were able to get the watches on there, and they'd write letters saying, hey, we would love you to test out these watches. And they were explorers that they were testing that ended up the Navy saying, hey, we would prefer like a timing bezel, and it needs to be a little bit more waterproof. And also, so the evolution of the Submariner actually came from the Explorer. So to me, that's why I would want the 369 on the 653 personally. I don't know, Dan, a regular one, right? You probably don't want to,
No, I like this. You won't turn your nose up at either, would you? But I'd still prefer the thingy one, the non.
Yeah, let's pull up a 30 Danny fucking 6538, baby. Let's
just that gilt and that yellow just it just flashes. It's just cool as fuck, isn't it?
We got a super chat from Mr. GMT's Discount Seiko Shop, $8 Australian. Britt Pierce video on watch market crashing is not sexy. I haven't seen that video. I don't really watch.
Neither have I, but if he's saying it, I'll go with it.
I don't really watch Britt Pierce. I don't know. She's I watch YouTube for to learn something. I don't really learn a lot. She's more of an enthusiast, I guess. It's an enthusiast channel. I mean, I'm around enthusiasts all the fucking time, right? So it's like I don't need to watch someone on YouTube doing that. I like Tommaso because you'll learn a little bit from him. And other channels where you can get a bit of information that you may not have known. But yeah, I mean, if that floats your boat, Mr. GMT's Discount Steakhouse Shop, go for it. GMT, you got to tell me, you're going to Rolex. They said GMT will give you anything you want, whether it's historical or new. What are you taking, man? I know you can figure out something.
I really can't, man. I really can't. But if I was going to choose something, and if I had to bring something back,
it
would be the very first GMT.
That's exactly what I was pulling up right now for you. The fucking pussy galore, baby. I have it up here from Win Vintage. I was like, you're Mr. GMT.
You knew I'd say that, eh?
100%. You're Mr. GMT. We're talking about the Bakelite bezel Pepsi.
Yeah, the very first one, man. That's a beautiful watch, man. It really is.
Yeah,
not many left now with a Bakelite bezel on them.
For a couple of reasons,
all being
right?
replaced.
Yeah, for a couple of reasons. Obviously the Bakelite was brittle. But not only that, Danny, apparently there was some kind of a law or a recall in the United States during this period of time where the lume, and I think it's on the bezel, I think it may be actually on the Bakelite bezel, was actually harmful, or it was leaking or something. So they kind of recalled the watch and they asked them to be replaced and whatnot. So a lot of them.
It might have had radium in it. Then it might have had radium in it at that sort of time.
Yeah. So there was this whole and I don't know if it was leaking from the dial or if it was directly from the bezel, but there was a recall specifically to the United States where a lot of them were replaced because of it. So you do have some that are lost to time because of them being brittle, but also like from replacement from that loss. So pretty cool history on Rolex. And that's what I think is kind of the coolest part about Rolex is like, I know everybody likes all the new stuff, but I think if you really go back in the catalog, man, there's just so much depth into like all kinds of variations and how Rolex was not like, the vertical supplier that it is today, right? Like they bought from other people. They're buying bracelets from fucking Mexico and stuff like that. You find all kinds of variants.
Yeah. But you've got to remember back in there, right? Rolex wasn't a thing like it is now. So having your bezel insert replaced for something that ain't cracking or leaking were a good thing, because you used to get your box and you used to use your box to put cigars in it. The paper you got on it were only like a warranty you get for a washing machine, just to say it's warranted for 2 years. And people go nuts and they say, "Oh, I won't buy it because I haven't got papers." They won't. Some people, they won't buy a watch if it's in excellent condition because it hasn't got papers. They'd rather buy a shit watch because it's got papers. Do you get what I'm saying?
Absolutely, right? Like it was a different time, a different era, right? Like and it's a lot of collectibles out there that just people didn't preserve a lot of things that if you kind of like hindsight's 2020, right? If we all knew that you could preserve these things, that'd be worth fucking insane. Like this one, right? Like I pull up on the screen the Rolex 5517, what's known as the mill sub, 20, 30 years ago. There's and Archie's told these stories too. People would have these in their drawers. Nobody wanted these watches. They were like they couldn't give them away. And there was a watch collecting community at the time. Now these watches are fucking highly sought after.
Yeah, try get one now.
Military issue watches, I don't think were ever commissioned to be kept by the public. So whoever these were commissioned to ended up keeping these watches. And then obviously they've made it to the market and whatnot.
Well, same with that Comex, Tam. You want to call it? You didn't actually own that watch. You were meant to give it back because it was part of your uniform. So all these Comex watches are basically stolen. And
you know what's interesting? So there's a guy on Instagram, Watches of Espionage, okay? And he was like complaining, not about this watch. I'll show you kind of a watch I think he was complaining about. I think it was a Rolex attack helicopter. And I'll pull up an attack helicopter for you, Danny, because you'll know what I mean. So this is more of a newer piece. It is an Explorer 2. Does this not have the right photo? Yeah. So this is I'll share the tab here. So just a basic, it's a brand new, it's a newer Explorer 2. On the back, obviously, it was the UK Attack Helicopter Force. It's numbered, and you were able to purchase these from Rolex. They have actual papers, and I believe the papers came from like the London boutique from Rolex. So you had to be in the military to buy them. They weren't necessarily military issue watches, like you weren't given this to go in the field, but you could buy these. Anyway, so they end up getting on the market like you described, right? So not stolen like, the old mill subs, but it's interesting. Watches of Espionage like was really kind of hating on people buying these watches. I don't know if he was claiming stolen valor and stuff like that. And I kind of wrote in his comments, I'm like, well, at what point is it not stolen valor? Like, if you go and buy like a fucking shield from like, some ancient Roman soldier that's being sold on Sotheby's, like, is that stolen fucking valor? Like, at what point do you not collect military, military, like, history or military collectibles, you could call it. Like, it didn't make a lot of sense. It's a massive
thing. It's a massive thing, military memorabilia, isn't it? Like,
yeah. But the UK has a few of these. This is one of them, the attack helicopter. I don't know if you've seen this other one. It's called the Rolex Sea King. And in the Sea King, these are new versions of actually European Watch has a good one here. So the Sea King is a GMT Master 2. And you can see on the back, fear God, honor the king. Rolex Sea King.
I've not seen any of these two that you've shown me.
We got Doc BBW joining us here. Doc, how you doing?
No,
I'm good, Patel. What's going on there, Danny?
What's going on?
Happening, Mr. GMT.
These were all saying Doc's collection's shite, but I was sticking up for you. I said,
Hey, quickly to Tan, right?
Yep.
How influential are you over with the rancher? Can you convince him to do something?
Depends what it is. Let me know what you want me to do.
All right, so he's got my very first collection review that he ever done
on his channel.
He's the only one that done on his channel. He did it. and it would be interesting for us to go back and have a look at it and see what I had.
It all depends. Of at one point, Doc, I don't know if you
I
remember.
think he deleted it all.
He deleted them
didn't
all, and I don't know if he
Yeah.
truly deleted them all. If he made them
He
all
might have
private.
just made them all private.
Yeah, we're gonna have to find that. I'm sure if we asked him for you, GMT, he would do it if he still has them. I don't know if he still does or not.
It just to go back down, because I started collecting that first tennographs that I told you I purchased in 2009.
Yep.
Right. So I've been collecting before then. Like I started collecting 2000, end of 2007, 2008, start 2008.
Yeah.
But that video would have been done about 2010, maybe 11. Like
Okay. Yeah, it was around that time.
Yeah.
No, I'll definitely ask him if he's around. Like, I mean, me and Doc are in a group chat with him, so I can definitely bring it up. But yeah,
That would
Danny,
be awesome.
yeah, man, 100%. Danny, so these are modern Rolexes that you could buy as a, someone who's in the military in the UK.
Yeah.
And obviously UK focused, right? And again, Archie is funny because Archie was like, these are all aftermarket, like, they just got it like engraved and stuff. But that's actually not true. I think it might have been the Sea King or the Attack Helicopter. One of these two. I actually saw it BQ Watches, and it wasn't in their case. I had asked the girl there, I'm like, do you mind getting that from the vault? Because I really love to see. I've never seen one of these. She brought it
Yeah.
out. So it had all this stuff and the paperwork. She's like, look, and I think I showed it on one of the live streams. She's like, if you just don't mind, just don't show the paperwork.
Yeah.
With the card actually said Rolex London. Like, this is a legitimate watch that was sold through Rolex that had this engraving for the military. So pretty cool.
Well,
yeah.
Rolex originated in UK very beginning, didn't it? And that's where it from. It just moved to Geneva to get parts cheaper.
Early on, yeah.
What's going on, Doc BB Dubs? We were showing your old.
Yeah, I couldn't help but come on because you're popping up these vintage pieces. I'm like, oh man, he's talking my language now.
All right, Doc. I'm gonna ask you this question that I asked Danny and GT. So me and Danny. So the question was, if you could ask, if Rolex said to you, says, "Hey, Doc BB Dubs, you can buy any watch from us, whether it's a historical watch that we'll remake for you, or it's a new watch." And I know you're gonna go Daytona, so like, what am I looking at here? What am I looking at?
Other than Daytona?
For sure, it's a Daytona. What am I looking at? Which Daytona?
Well, I mean, because hindsight's always 2020.
Yeah.
I'd probably just get a standard 6239 steel bezel, exotic dial Paul Newman.
Exotic dial Paul Newman. All right, let's.
But if it weren't, that's just kind of cliche. That's what you're basically saying. So I'd have to think long and hard. But I kind of liked. I like that sub, with no crown guards. That's just a cool piece from the 50s.
I knew Danny and I were going to go for that. Like, Danny and I are very much on the same level.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And if you find one with a bakelite that's intact, no cracks or anything, man, you got something.
Well, Mr. GMT had to go for a GMT. Like, he can't be called Mr. GMT and not go for a fucking GMT. I would have been disappointed.
Although the debate is, does he want pointed crown guards in a 1675? I think those pointed crown guards are cool.
Yeah, I mean, 1675 it's like, whenever I think of the 1675, so that's the GMT that came after the 6542.
No, I want the very first.
Yeah, that was like, to me, Doc, is like the 5513 Submariner. Like, it has such a long span, and there's so many variations in the 1675 that it's hard to pinpoint which one I'd like. Right, same with the 5513. Because if Danny asked me, Tan, which 5513 would you buy? It could be the fucking military version. It could be the Bart Simpson. It could be the fucking, it could be Underline. It could be so many of them, dude. Like, we got a super chat from Mike the Punching Bag, $3 Australian. Would Doc tap Ream the Dream from New York? This one's for you, Doc.
What does that mean?
I think the answer is yes. Doc is all about them BB Dubs, right? So Doc would definitely tap Ream the Dream.
What does that mean? What does it mean? I mean, I'm just a regular guy. Everybody knows, Tanzil, you gave me the name Doc BBW, and it stands for Big Beautiful Watch.
I did many moons ago.
What are these other people thinking?
Many moons ago. I do have up on the screen the Paul Newman exotic dial that Doc talked about. So this is the one you tell him to remake for you. Would you do any changes? Would you say, nope, I want it to be the same size, same type of bracelet, or would you modernize it?
I went to the Wynn Motel before they changed their Rolex situation, they had a museum there, and short story long or long story short, she let me into the museum because she saw what I was wearing. She let me in the museum. They had one of these, absolutely stunning. I'd leave it exactly the way it is. I wouldn't change it. Wouldn't change a damn thing.
Wouldn't change a damn thing. All right, I'm gonna do some honorable mentions,
including the jingly jangly bracelet. I wouldn't change that either.
jingly
Doc, you
jang.
fucking what bracelet for an Omega bracelet? This was going to be my backup. Darling, I'm going to say if
I was gonna do some honorable mentions.
They had one of these. These are awesome.
I'm gonna do an honorable mention because I think if look, I don't know if Rolex can revive the Milgauss because I mean the term Milgauss is kind of outdated. I mean you can buy a Metas certified anything from like fucking Omega that has more like resistance than Milgauss. So it's kind of a it's not really useful, compared to what's out there. I think if they were to revive a Milgauss, I think that like if they did something like this and they made it retro and they came out with this, I think this would be a fucking knockout of the park for Rolex.
Oh, it'd be a hot piece that you'd be doing forever. You'd be waiting.
I mean, let's keep it real. I would love to have one of these. I have a 1019 because I can't afford this.
Yeah, 1019 is the next Milgauss. Very, very cool piece.
Yeah, but I mean, 1019 you could get for 20 or 30. This one is crazy.
I just think like the red triangle. You still got the kind of the lightning seconds hand, which is cool. It just it's funny. I think Mark called this a sub the other day. I was like, really, Mark? Like, aren't you a Rolex fucking guy? Like, I'm not even a Rolex guy. Like, I'm a Patek guy, and I still know it's not a fucking sub.
Plus, you can read the top line. It's nicely and it's faded a little bit, but the red says Milgauss.
It's the red Milgauss, boys. Mike the Snake.
Milgauss.
It's the red Milgauss, right? So this is my honorable mention. Danny, you were going to go with the same one.
This was going to be my backup if this for any. I know it's imagining, but if this says, Danny, we can't make this one for you. What else would you like? This was going to be my backup. No lies.
Doc, what would be your backup? You picked this with Paul Newman. We're going to go for a third one as well. I'm going to keep going down this rabbit hole. Doc, now you picked Paul Newman. You went Daytona, Doc. I went sub. Danny went sub. Then we shifted to Milgauss.
I might go Steve McQueen. All right,
so he's going to go 1655 Rolex Steve McQueen. So Doc's talking about the Explorer 2, the original Explorer 2. I'm going to pull it up for you guys on the screen. Ooh, that's loud, boys. That's loud.
That's mine for the.
All right, no worries, Dan. If you got to run, it's all good.
It's all right.
All right, let's pull up a Steve McQueen. All right. Steve McQueen. So, for those that don't know, the Steve McQueen, the original Explorer 2, was not a GMT, guys. It was a day-night indicator meant for those that loved cave exploring or spelunking. This is kind of the watch that I think, to me, makes me dislike the modern Explorer 2, because if you think of the modern Explorer 2, it's a GMT function. They kind of changed it because I think they quickly realized, Doc, that spelunking is not necessarily the most popular fucking thing out there in the world.
Not too many people do that one.
And
too many people know what it is.
And it's funny because you got this day-night indicator, and it's kind of like, I think someone said to me, well, if you're wearing this watch in the, in a cave and you don't have like a fucking, they're kind of like, what's the point of the lume? Because, for example, if you don't have a flashlight, it's kind of useless because you can't see anything in the dark anyways. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, I mean, day-night indicator, that orange hand was, basically you're in a cave. You don't know if it's day or night because you're in the dark. And it allows you to track that. Very unusual. I mean, it's not unusual in the sense that we have day-night indicators on a lot of watches today, but that was kind of the main purpose of this, right, Doc?
Didn't we see one of these when we were hanging out, you and me and Jen? Didn't we see one of these? I just think these are really cool when you see them in person.
What were you saying, Danny?
They'll have used the orange hand because orange is the last colour you see before dark. Like when it's dark, that's the last colour you see.
There you go. Maybe that's true. I don't know.
That's why they use it in diving.
They have some that fade to albino too, if you're into that.
So yeah, I'll pull up the albino. There's a few albinos that are interesting. Chief Tip says that's why the Tudor Blacklight Pro looks very similar, but is a much more capable tool. Is a great buy. Like, I think that when you look at the Explorer 2, it's just a weird watch. It's quirky. Never really was ever, I think, identified with Steve McQueen. I don't think it's ever been seen with him wearing one of these.
No.
It's just kind of got that nickname, the Steve McQueen, for some fucking reason. They associate it with him, but like Steve McQueen
Because
is
he was
associated
wearing
with
Rolex, but not this Rolex.
not this one exactly, right? So it's a bit of a strange one. So let's talk about albino dials. So Rolex, I'm going to start off with the GMT albino, GMT Master albino, because I think that's a cool one. It was restricted only for Pan Am executives, as far as I remember, on the GMT albino. So obviously white dials are quite rare with Rolex, but they did do some white dials in the past. So this is the GMT Master 2,
Those are
six.
nice.
Yeah, it's a 6542, so it's the same one that the GMT said would be his, his one watch that he would ask for Rolex to make for him, but in an albino dial, specifically made for Pan Am executives. Pretty fucking rare, dude.
Yeah, I forgot about those.
Yeah, man. There's this one, and then you had the Explorer one, the 10, I think it was the 1016 albino dial. Also quite a rare piece. Pull up. Hodinky has a whole article on albino dials. But here's an Explorer with an albino dial. Let's remove this bullshit that they pop up.
You know what else I'd like, since you're talking about these Explorers, is exactly I'd like a sub with an Explorer dial.
Well, yeah, that was my choice. When Danny was like, "I'm gonna go with a
Yeah.
6538," I was like, "Yeah, man, me too." But you know what I'm gonna do, and Danny knew right away because him and I have talked about this before. Is I'm gonna go Explorer dial because Doc, the fucking Submariner was evolved from the Explorer.
Exactly.
A fact it's not talked about a lot.
And my mind wasn't thinking about it until you brought the Explorer up, and I go, "Ooh, that's what I want. It's a sub with an Explorer dial."
And look, this was rumored that Rolex was potentially considering putting a white dial on the Explorer 1, which is an interesting concept because I think that actually might be popular.
I think
white
it
dial
would look nice.
Yeah, it's a bit OP-ish, you could say. Like it could definitely be confused with an OP, I guess, from that aesthetic, because the OP and the Explorer are very, very similar. But one thing a lot of people don't talk about with the Explorer is it's one of the few Rolexes that's actually like a commemoration watch. It's not the watch that went up Everest. That was an Oyster Perpetual, but the Explorer came out after the ascent of Everest as a commemoration to that.
Right.
And it's just people don't talk about it that way. And that's what it is. It's a commemoration watch, is what it is. It's not the watch that went up Everest, which is commonly, even though Rolex likes to fucking, play with the truth a little bit.
First. Well, then there's talks that Smith's Everest did it first as well, isn't there?
Well, I believe the Smiths was the watch that they brought up. They did bring a Rolex with them, but I don't think that the Norgay or Sir Edmund Hillary are wearing it. I think it was either like attached to like a bag or in a bag or something. Like I don't think it was actually on the wrist. But I've always asked Archie, because Archie's like, "Oh, the Explorer is the greatest tool watch." I'm like, what is the tool aspect of it, right? Like it tells the time. Archie's like, "That's just a very accurate watch." I'm like, "Yeah, but that's a lot of watches. Like, I mean, you can't describe that as a tool watch. Like, what are you talking about?" Chieftain says the white dial washes out the Explorer. I think what people love about the Polar Explorer 2 is that white dial, right? Like, because white dials are so uncommon now with Rolex that I think people it's just kind of like how the Speedmaster white dial was, right? People just love it because it's different, right?
And I think a lot of people love the cream dial.
If they can get their hands on it.
If they can get their hands on one. And imagine if they came out with an Explorer 1 with a cream dial. Oh my God.
Let me pull you guys up. A 16550 cream rail dial. It says Doc is speaking my language. We're talking vintage Rolex, and Doc knows I like my vintage Rolex. So let's find a cream rail dial.
And Patel knows I like mine.
Yeah. Not a lot of YouTubers talk about this. So
look at that.
This is a 16550. So this is the version after the Steve McQueen. So we went from 16555 to now 16550. Cream dial, and not only cream, it's a cream rail dial. So you can see obviously superlative chronometer, officially certified, is like kind of aligned. So that's why I call it the rail dial. Pretty rare, dude. These are epic watches.
What this brought out as a transitional model?
I think there was a transition. There's a 16550, and I think I don't know if it's like how the sub was, where there was like a 16800 and then another one that came right after. But yeah, I think this was transitional before the 16570, which became the one you saw that was in my photos from earlier and stuff like that. But yeah, I believe it was.
And it may have been that it turned out not as popular. They may have tried it for a few years. It wasn't as popular, and then they dropped it.
All right, we got Chief Tit here to tell us what he thinks. Go for it, Chief Tit.
He likes a watermelon Dale.
I love that.
So Chief Tit says it works on the Explorer too with the orange 24 hand. So I mean, even before the this is obviously the cream dial, but it had the red hand, right? So again, some differentiation or accentuation from the red hand, on it gives it a bit of pop, I guess. And I agree with that. I don't think that's an off assessment.
I think that thing's absolutely.
My audio's dropped out. I'm gonna have to drop out because my audio's dropped out.
No worries, Danny. Thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate it.
No worries.
Good to see you, man.
You guys think that the
You
old
too, Doc. See you later. See you later, Chief Watermelon.
See you later, bud.
Go
Don't
for
you
it,
guys
Chief.
think the old ones have got something about them, man. I don't know what it is. It's got a certain nostalgia about it that the new ones just don't have with all that.
I think
the newest ones have no patina.
I mean that could be used as character, right? But it's kind of how Chief Tit's describing it, right? Like, because there's a lot of different things you can look at on pieces like this. Like if you look at the lugs, right? Like, the lugs are a certain way that are a bit different than today. You've got obviously the dials, a lot of different variation in the dials. The hands are different. You can see this kind of an older style hand. It's just a pointer hand versus the bigger hand on the GMTs. Like, we're so used to seeing new models, and we see it all the fucking time, that when you start looking back, Chief Tit, like you said, it's a different aesthetic. It's still got that cool vibe. Like I talked about it earlier on my show. I know you joined a little bit later, but Danny and I talked about Rolex DNA and why Rolex really failed Rolex really failed on a lot of their dress watches because they missed a lot of that Rolex DNA. Archie, what's this watch on the screen, if you don't mind me asking you? Do you know this watch at all?
16550 with the cream dial.
Cream and rail, baby. You got the cream rail dial.
Wow, amazing. Hello, how are you?
Not bad, mate. Not bad. Look, you know what? With those, Archie said a while ago that the 5-digit ones, he was even thinking about going for a 5-digit collection. And I'm just love it. I love the thought of it. Apart from everything else, it doesn't have the frustration of having to deal with those fuckwit dealers, the authorized dealers. If you want a second-hand one, just go and get the second-hand one. You're getting it at market price, and whatever it is, and you can go buy it straight away. And you can get that instant gratification if you want it. That for me is a big thing. Like, I mean, there it is. It's there. It's for sale in that particular shop. I can go buy it. That's the model. That's the year. I love the old patina that it's got, the nostalgia that comes with it. It's something you can buy immediately. You don't have to go on a fucking waiting list, or otherwise.
You don't have to bring Krispy Kremes.
Yeah, that's exactly
don't
right.
Bring chocolates to your dealer, hoping to get a Rolex at retail.
But don't you reckon it's annoying when you see one that's a 2025 model and somebody's got the watch for 5 and 10 and 15,000 more than it is actually for sale for? That's stupid. Who the fuck does that? I don't know.
I agree, and I think what's really cool about this too, Chief Ted, is like you're gonna get a watch that you just won't see anywhere. You're not gonna see people wearing this cream rail dial out in the open in Sydney. It's not gonna happen. So very, very unique.
And if you did, it'd be for the people that actually count. It'd be like, fuck, look at that. You know what I mean? Rather than some fucking Chinese tourist who's got the latest version on his fucking wrist because he bought, $250,000 worth of useless jewelry for his wife, so they sold him one.
Absolutely. Right. No, you're making.
If you think about it, a lot of people who are into watches don't know they made it with a cream dial.
Archie, we got Amin Reviews in the chat. He's a good friend of the channel who says 116520 white dial has a lot of that 5-digit charm, and I love the warm silver sub-dial rings. Archie and Chief Tit, I asked this question to GMT, I asked it to Doc, and I've asked it to Surdy, Danny. I'm going to ask you guys this question. If you could go to Rolex and they said, look, we'll make you any watch, whether you'll give you any watch, a new watch or any of the watches we have ever made in history, what watch would that be? So I'll start off with Archie. If Rolex said to you, hey, Archie, we'll give you any watch, you tell us anything we've ever made, whether it's new or old, what would you ask them to give you?
5508.
Ooh, so he did go subby. 5508. So Chief Tit, I don't know if you know, Archie used to have a 5508. And his 5508 was butchered into a two-tone. But I'm going to show you what Archie's talking about here. 5508.
Oh, that's beautiful.
What's going on, Nick?
37 mil sub. 37 mil, actually.
Sup, homies?
What's up, man? Danny, Danny and I picked the 6538. Dr. No, I went with the Explorer dial. Danny went standard dial. Doc went with the Paul Newman exotic dial. I'm going to ask Chief Tit. So, Chief Tit, Rolex, you can give you anything you want. Anything.
Ooh, I know mine. I know mine, Chief Tit.
The Explorer 2 that you had, the very first Explorer 2 that you had on the screen earlier on, that for me is just so weird and great. I love it.
Archie, I'll show you what Chief Tit's talking about, and then we'll get into Nick Miller. What Nick Miller says is his choice. So, Archie, Chief Tit is talking about this watch. I know you're a fan of this one, Archie, as well. The old Steve McQueen, baby.
Steve McQueen, that's the one there.
I love that thing.
All right, Nicky, it's Miller time. Tell us, fucking watch.
This is a 4-digit. Sorry, just quickly, Chief Tit. That's not a 5. That's a 4-digit.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
These are 4-digit, not 5 digits. Remember that.
Yeah, what's that, early 70s or something?
Early 70s. 72, I think they came out.
ArchieLuxury72 at gmail.com. That's how you know, by the way. Archie remembers like this watch because
that's the year he was born, isn't it?
Yep.
Exactly.
You know what else came out that year, Archie Luxury? Another famous watch came out that year.
The Royal Oak.
The Royal Oak, baby. 1972. All right, Nick Miller, it's Miller time. What watch would you tell Rolex?
I thought you were going to say a Breguet piece. I should.
No. It was a Royal Oak.
First of all, greetings to the Pontiff. Salutes to the Pontiff. And then I'm going to have to say date 836, brand new, platinum, ice blue dial, fluted, baguette, ice blue.
All right.
You know, I was actually thinking it's too bad Saad's
36
not here because Saad would really show us how it's done in terms of picking anything from the catalog.
Look how it looks just like that friggin' thing. I love that one on the screen, man. Because you couldn't use that old Rolex with any sort of confidence, you know. But that's why that Pro, it's got 90% of the looks, but you can just, it's 200 meters water resistant, not even 100. It's just a tank. I love it.
I saw one of these with Arabic for the days of the week, and boy, oh boy, that was just gorgeous.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, this is a 36 mil. That's what Nick Miller said. Baguette dial, platinum, ice blue, Archie Luxury. Is this a fucking shitter or is this the duck's fucking nuts here?
It is beautiful. 36 mil.
It is heavy though. It's heavy.
Hey, big boy, I heard you made a video for the first time in about 3 months. What's up with that?
Yeah, made a video. Everyone's jumping on the bandwagon. O'Sheen, Andrew Morgan from
Talking Hands.
Andrew Morgan Watches, Talking Hands, and Britt Pierce made a video. Yeah, it's over. The watch market's over.
Videos. When are you gonna start tagging these guys like the old school Archie TPG videos? Like when are we gonna see the fucking old beef videos, Archie? I'm the one driving all the beef these days. We need some red meat for your ass. Like, yes. Archie, before I go, I want to show you a new release because I know you're not going to talk watches after I leave. Yeah. So there is a new release here, the new Planet Ocean. Now, what right off the top of the head, Archie, what do you think? This is the new Planet Ocean 4th generation.
It looks thick. It looks thick.
It's just under 14 mils thick.
Burgundy. Look at that orangey. It looks lovely.
So they've changed a few things on this. I'll walk you through what the changes are. So they've made it smaller. Now it's a 42, not a 43 and a bit. It's a 42. They've removed the helium escape valve. They have removed the date, so now it's a no date, pre-symmetrical dial, and they've changed the lugs from the lyre lugs to a little bit more of an angular watch. Now Chief Tit made one. I think the comment of the day says it gives them Seiko Samurai vibes. I can't unsee it now, Archie. If you were to give this out of 10, the old Paul Pluta score out of 10, what would you give this right just off of initial reaction?
8.
Ooh, you're a lot nicer than that. I gave it a 6.5. Chief Tit, what about you? Right out of 10, what would you give this? Initial reaction.
Man, my initial reaction is it just looks like every other sort of Seiko looking dive watch. I give it a 6.
All right, so Chief Tit was a 6. I was a 6.5. Archie was an 8. Doc
We got a super
BBW.
chat from MT85, $10. Thanks, Tan, for the watch talk. Thank you, Tan, indeed.
Thanks, Tan, for the watch talk.
I must admit, I gave them extra points because any watch with no date. I love a no date.
And that's what I was thinking. Is without the date, boy, it really improves that dial. Did the previous also have polished center links? I don't remember that.
I don't remember. I'm not the
That's
biggest.
new as well, and I like it. So I'm going to go with an 8 because I like that. I like the look of that. I like the polished center link thing. I know most people don't like them, but I do, and I like the no date. Wow.
Got super chat here, Archie.
Super chat here. Here we go. We got Guyzo the Frog, $20. And he says, would you guys trade a Patek 5821 for an AP 2633 plus 5K, both mint and complete?
So he's comparing the Cubitus to a
Look.
rose gold Royal Oak chronograph.
I don't understand it.
that's
I really like the Cubitus, and I don't understand why people give it so much hate.
Yeah, I would keep the Cubitus. It is an adaptation of the Daniel Roth case design. It's legendary. Cubitus rules.
And I don't know. I reckon it looks very much like the Cartier Santos to me.
And I'll pull up.
I'd keep the Patek. I think I'd keep the Patek.
Pull up a Royal Oak chronograph. Yeah, for you here.
He's got the two-tone. That's a beautiful Royal Oak chronograph. That's gorgeous.
So would you trade a Patek Cubitus for a Royal Oak chronograph? I personally wouldn't. I think the Cubitus is a unique design. It's definitely pretty hot right now. I think the two-tone is nice. I got nothing against that piece. I'm not the biggest fan of the chronograph, Archie, on the Royal Oaks. It's just not for me on the chronos. Nice piece. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but if I were to have between an AP and a Patek, I'd always go Patek all day long.
So, Tan, do you think that Royal Oak looks a bit too busy with all of those sort of...
Exactly. I prefer a three-hander when it comes to these.
I like the classic Royal Oak. I agree with them. That's just personal taste, right? Some people love Royal Oak chronographs. I like the standard, either the 15510 or the 16202, personally, just because cleaner dial, more classic. But look, some people love this watch, and this is a pretty flex watch because this is a Miami watch, Archie Luxury. Like, this is what you're wearing when you're in fucking Dubai. You know, when you're flexing, when you're not fucking walking around soy cowboy.
Hey, the guys are there. Jamie's there.
Hey, we got James in the chat. Showcase watches. Obviously, you know, Showcase, if there's a big Omega release, we have to talk about it, and it's going to catfish Showcase watches. Archie, I'm going to go in the chat. I'm going to add Showcase's wrench back because I don't know where the hell happened to it.
Yeah.
I'm done after my 2 hours. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for joining me, guys, and I appreciate it.
Thanks so much. Thanks a bunch.
Good job, Tan.
What a nice watch talk today.
What a nice watch talk. There we go, guys. Showcase watches. The bracelet harps back to Omega of old, the baby pro prof. How is Showcase? Showcase, what a great guy.
Yeah, I think that bracelet really helps bring it out, along with the cleaning of the dial and getting rid of the date. It really just is a nice looking watch now.
The Plo Prof's
Yes.
I love the Plo Prof.
It is gorgeous. I've had one of the original pro profs, Chief Tit.
Did you have really one of the original?
Yeah, like a 70s one, you know?
Is that somebody famous in your avatar there, Chief Tit?
That's me.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, when you put, it was one of those things that my wife put on, like, you know, one of those chat things, and then she decided to put the little bow tie and the moustache and the monocle and the hat on.
Okay, I get it. So
The
you
rest
with
is
a little bit of camouflage, a little bit of disguise.
a little bit of camouflage.
Hey guys, what do you guys think there? All the YouTubers, Andrew Morgan, we had O'Sheen, we've got Britt Pierce saying the watch market is dead. What do you think? Is it over?
I think it's dead for some people, you know, just like always.
I think the investment side is dead. You know, where people.
But that's not what it's supposed to be about anyway. So
Absolutely.
Good riddance. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Yeah, good. Get rid of these dickheads who never used to wear the watch. They'd go and buy all the stock and stick it in a safe, and take it out of the market for some of us who actually want to look and use these things, you know?
Yeah. So good. Bye.
Good. Fuck off. Take it, you know, go.
That's it.
I
Exactly.
think it leaves people who buy the watches because they really just fall in love with it and they want to wear it.
That's it. These dickheads can get out of the market and go buy their Colombian coffee beans or whatever they were into before.
Or other commodities. Exactly.
100% right. Yeah.
In fact, you could even say it's karma and they deserve it.
Fucking oath. Absolutely. I love it. I love the fact that they're fucked off. These people go, yeah, you know, and if you buy it, you can sell it for this much. It's like, that shouldn't even be a factor when you buy a watch. Really? It's like, do you like the fucking watch? Buy it.
Buy one that they loved. They bought hundreds of that one that other people love. And they figure, oh, I'm going to keep it and make a good profit on it.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it tanks. Oh, good. Bye.
Absolutely. And I hope they never
That's
come
the way
back.
it goes.
But I think for the watch lovers, the market is, as the talking heads might say, same as it ever was.
That's right. Same as it ever was. That's right. What was that? That was from a movie as well. What was that?
Stop Making Sense.
Yeah.
David Byrne and the Talking Heads.
And it was in a movie. It was that one with Nick Nolte, wasn't it?
Oh.
It was
You
at the end
mean
of
48 hours where...
Yeah, 48 hours. That was it. It was in that too.
Police in jail, Roxanne. He's singing Roxanne from the prison or from jail or whatever.
That's right. I think right at the end it had that same as it ever was, that song that you were talking about.
Yeah, it probably did. I don't remember that part, but I'm sure it had a lot of interesting 80s music.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Well, it goes to show what our ages are, revealed by that.
Yeah, it's just amazing to think. Yeah, you were a kid when that song came out, and now
Absolutely.
it's like 40 years later.
So what is that? Arch, did they have a Plo Prof that came out afterwards, like a reissue or something?
They've had one, a modern one, for a long time, but this new one that's come out has reduced in size. That's the whole thing there.
Well, that thing that we just looked at before, is that what you mean, or is there a new?
Yeah. It's I got to tell you, the Omega's been pretty crazy with their price increases. Do you ever go to you got a big Omega boutique in Martin Square? Do you ever go there, Chief Jet?
Yeah, I've been there a couple of times. It's pretty good.
There's no customers.
No, there's no one in there. They just don't have the hype, do they? I mean, with
they're expensive as well, you know.
Do you reckon that's a good thing for them? Are they playing the right game by doing that, or are they just shooting themselves in the foot, you think, Arch?
Well, I think the problem is, you know, they have had some increase. I think they've gone a bit greedy with the price increases because the brand is proving to be soft. So they came out in 2025. That's as a 2005, nearly exactly 20 years ago, after the first Planet Ocean was released. Now these aren't Pro Profs. These of course are the Planet Ocean. They're making it smaller, 42 mil. Because the fashion went very big, and all they've done is they've gone back in size. You see?
Yeah.
That's all they've done is they've gone back. But the Planet Ocean has been their serious dive watch. You know, that's their serious. They've got some huge. What's the deep sea go down to? It's pretty amazing piece. But
they always had that competition with the Sea Dweller to see who went down deepest. You know, those little sort of marketing.
It's interesting that they have taken the helium escape valve off. That's pretty damn amazing stuff, because that was always a Omega had.
That's going to make Mike the Snake exceedingly happy. That's that one thing he didn't like about it.
What do you think?
So
of
in
that?
Aussie dollars, this new one is $15,000.
What do you think about the fact that they've taken off the button for the helium escape?
Oh, I think I think it's cool. Something different.
I think that I'm pretty sure they added the polished Centerlink bracelet too, and I like that whole look.
Now the interesting thing is, I don't know if you noticed this, but the 45.5 mil version is 22,000.
Fuck,
and this
that's a lot of
smaller
money.
version is 15,000. There's a huge difference in price there.
Even without the huge difference, 15,000.
Guys, is it me or is that fucking expensive for an Amiga?
I mean, I would think a Speedmaster would be about the same price, but clearly it's not unless you're looking at a 321. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it.
No, I don't get it either. Who the fuck would buy that new?
I mean, I thought the 321 with all the work on the movement and all of that stuff, I thought that was the reason it was 15,000, and that was a big deal. And now they're just making this one 15,000.
No, this is the new one, Doc.
I know, but I mean, it's not like a 321, is it? I mean, the 321, I understand. It's like a collector's watch. There's a lot put into it. A lot of effort was put in that watch. This one, I just don't understand why it's that heavy, same $15,000 price.
It just doesn't look like a $15,000 watch.
No, I mean, I guess I was expecting it to be 8,000, 9,000, and even then I was thinking, well, maybe I'll.
Okay, this is Aussie dollars. Sorry, Doc BBW. This is Aussie dollars. Sorry.
Oh, so it is more like 8 or 9. Okay.
10,000 US.
Okay. All right. I'll give it a little bit of time, and I'll probably pick one up because I think it's a nice looking thing.
But you wouldn't be buying it new, would you? No, definitely
No,
not.
I'll give it some time and get it on the gray and get a little discount with it. Honestly, right now I'm wearing my first Megan Space, and so I only have. Well, I have this one. I have a gold Aquaterra that I hardly wear, but I mean.
Archie, do you guys know how much in Australian dollars a new Sea Dweller is? I mean, not that you can buy it, but still, it's not that. It wouldn't be that hard to get compared to the other ones because it's a Sea Dweller, not a. It's 23,250 Australian dollars.
I actually don't respect Omega as a brand like at all anymore. It's cool, but no.
But that's because you like block pain.
Well, there's only one block pen I really want. I like a Gothic watches and serious watches, not fucking Omegas. But there are some, like the 1948 special edition small second Seamaster. I think that's like I think it was in, you know that movie Knives Out? The sequel to that with Daniel Craig.
There's an advantage to the Omega. If you ever needed to sell, you actually could.
I don't care about selling. I only care about curating a collection, like from a long time ago. Keep curating over a number of years. Then you know exactly what you want.
Like, look at this.
Let me ask you something. You know this sort of watch, Chief Tit?
Yeah.
This sort of watch here, $15,000, right?
Yeah.
In Australia, that's a lot of money. What do you think? Like, that's not just chump change, is it?
It's a shitload of money, Arch. It's a shitload of money.
I mean, when does somebody buy this? Do they buy this before they have a girlfriend?
I can't see it.
If they were in a relationship saving for a deposit,
it's a little boy's watch.
She would hit the roof.
No, Archie's got a point here. I mean, I've got two boys. One of them's 16 now, so he's looking at getting a car. So when looking at something like this, or getting maybe a 2010 convertible BMW 3 Series, which is the same price as this thing.
2010? Yeah, I suppose it would.
2010 hard top 3 Series is the same as this. What the fuck? Do you know what I mean? What sort of a choice is that?
Mind you, in 10 years' time, that this will still be going, but.
And the BMW will be long gone.
Still, you're asking the question, what would somebody do with their different age groups? And so I don't see anybody younger than, say, 40 being able to have enough spare change to throw 15 grand at a watch anyway. Do you?
Well, you know, they're into the Apple Watches reality wise. They're not as into analog watches anymore.
It depends on how you make money.
But you know, when you say what they're into, I'll tell you something. I took him the other day and I bought him his first new suit, right? That's not a school suit. His first suit. And he needed to finish off the look because he was going to take a girl out to a formal. And I said, so you're going to go without a watch? He goes, no, I should take a watch, shouldn't I? And I said, yeah. So what are you going to get? He goes, show me what you got. And he picked out the big, fat, you know, chronograph, boutique-only Tudor one that I've got. And he put it on, and he suddenly understood the difference between an Apple Watch and a watch which is used to complete something where you're looking like a gentleman.
A real watch. Well,
a real watch, you know, not some fucking...
So how did he get the invite to the formal?
How did he get the what?
Invite to the formal.
It's a family friend, and she must have been desperate. She was another young girl, you know. So it was nice. It was nice looking at what was important to him at that age. It's totally different to the way we think of things, or even the way we thought of things, Archie, at that same age, you know.
What grade he's in? 11.
Year 10. He's finishing year 10 now.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what does he want to go into?
He's got no idea. I'm trying to get him to go into law like the other one so they can take over the family business.
Ooh, that would be cool.
That'd be good, I know. Then I can relax and go on holidays and they can do the billable hours.
Well, it's also, you know, taking advantage of what you've built up.
You know what? That's such a big thing. Because
law
there's so...
is a very big, but it's not an easy thing to do.
It's not, Arch, but you know...
It's not the hardest thing in the world either.
But if you've got your mother and father that are both lawyers and you're in the same household, it makes the study of it a lot easier, and also makes getting into the industry easy because he goes straight in there. We teach him all the ropes. He's got 30 years worth of clientele that are sitting there as goodwill. He's not, you know, twiddling.
Yeah, there's a legacy. There's a legacy.
It's a big thing to go into an office and not have to worry about where the next matter's coming from.
It's called a silver platter. He should take it.
Absolutely.
And also, if they're game for it, they could become corporate lawyers and they can become part of the foreign ministry, or if they want, and they can work with corporations and oligarchs.
Yep. All of that.
I don't know if we have too many oligarchs. Who's the oligarch? Have you got clients who are oligarchs, Chief Tit?
Every country has oligarchs.
We don't have oligarchs. We've got some high net worth individuals as clients in the firm, but not oligarchs.
He's not allowed to talk about it either.
We've got a couple of actual foreign governments as clients as well, by the way, which is interesting. But anyway,
there you go.
Food for private discussions.
You have some connection to the diplomatic world there.
Quite a bit.
That's interesting. Wow, interesting.
Yep.
Southeast Asia?
No, actually, closer to the Americas and in Europe.
Oh, that's awesome. Cool.
So, Archie, when are you coming home?
Today.
Oh, good. You're looking forward to it?
Yeah, I am actually. I'm really pleased. I think it's good to get back now. Yeah, I am. I really am. I am really looking forward to coming back.
That's good. I'm going to go away.
I must say. Sorry?
I'm leaving next Thursday for about 5 or 6 days to go to New Caledonia just for a little quick holiday.
Oh, that's fantastic. New Caledonia. Wow.
Yeah, so it should be interesting.
You'll enjoy that.
Yeah. What watch do you reckon I should take? Should I take the Explorer 2 as well?
You might want to take a diver with you, hey?
That's what I'm thinking.
I
might go the old Tudor.
Have you been to New Caledonia before?
Once before, when I was like 25 or 26 or something.
Okay.
Have you been?
No, I've never been to New Caledonia. And we've got the world, speaking of going,
gentlemen,
world's greatest dog trainer, Marky Goldberg. How are you?
Mark!
Oh, I got to catch up. I got a super chat. Starchy here, $2. Arch, how much have you in savings right now? Not much. Savings? Spendings?
Listen, can I ask a quick question? Does unutilized HELOC actually, it should count as savings, right?
Yeah, of course, Marky.
There you go.
I don't think you read Huratan's.
Huratan, $2. It's Miller time.
Thank you. That's from our friend.
We've got a super chat from CB.
Super chat.
CB, $5. The Amiga Scuba to get is the one I sent you on WhatsApp, and I have lots of respect for Amiga. Let me pull it up. We'll get this baby on the screen.
Pull it up, big boy. Green Man says HELOC is not savings, but it is unrealized gain. Therefore, it is in fact savings. Normally, he spent it, but now he didn't. So it's savings. See what I did there?
What did you do there?
It's a good question, Chief. Chief Tits. Can I call you Chief Tits? Is that okay with you?
Whatever you like.
What do you think of
Doc,
this?
what are you doing here?
The
Is it
Ultra
over
Deep.
before
That's
we
also
begin?
got no date. The Ultra Deep has got no date as well. Look at that. Look at that, guys.
Mark likes Ultra Deep.
And that's also got no helium valve either, does it? It doesn't have a helium valve.
You know, Chief Tit, I have a ball watch, which means I go ultra deep balls.
Balls deep.
There,
I thought you were down to one ball, though.
No, Doc, I have 2.5 balls. 2.5. I have 2.5. One is broken. But
What, did you have 3?
That's too bad.
I know.
What do you mean you got 2.5 and one's broken? That means you must have had.
He's counting the ball that's broken as a half.
That's correct. See, Doc understands. Catch up, Chief Tit.
Which is, I think that's the standard anatomical definition, right? I don't know.
Well, you're the doctor. By the way, what if it needs adjusting? What do we do?
I think when it's
Archie,
broken.
what are they talking about, Archie?
Actually, the balls adjust themselves.
No kidding. Yeah, well, you know what? That's true. Up and down
That's
they
probably
go.
true.
according
In
to
fact,
the
they're very
temperature.
sensitive. You don't want to attack them too hard. So yeah, they adjust
It's all
themselves.
temperature
Just leave them
sensitive.
go. That's right.
Yes.
Yes.
What you doing, Arch? What's happening?
Yeah, I got to tell you, I really like the blue and the white. Great fan of this blue and white here.
I do.
No wart.
So-
It has no wart.
Let me ask you something there, Mr. Goldberg. There, the comments are coming out. We've got the Andrew Morgan's come out and said, "Watch Market's dead." Britt Pierce says it's dead. O'Sheen O'Malley.
You know what they're really saying is, I'm not getting any views. Oh my God, my algorithm income is down. Whee! That's what they're really trying to say.
That's what they're really saying. Good
That's
point.
right.
I can't make any money. I can't do any flipping.
Correctamundo. And yet here you are with all these. Wait, where are they? Guys, help a brother out. We need a super chat so we can feel superior to them.
So you're going to New Caledonia next week, Chief Tit?
Yes, next week. It was a last minute thing. I got on the phone with the
Wow.
wife yesterday and we thought, you know what, this is fucking annoying, all these people that we're dealing with all the time. Let's piss off for a couple of days. And we booked within an hour of coming up with the idea.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Now, what is there to do in New Cat? Where the fuck is it? First of all, none of us have ever heard of it.
It's about 2.5 hours off the coast of Australia in the middle of the South Pacific.
Oh, it's an island. I see. Now, 2.5 hours by plane, not by a kayak, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And is it like Bali? Is it like that?
No, not really. It's all French. It's a bit like a French version of Fiji.
I see.
And Noumea itself would be like, imagine Honolulu without the surf and very low market version of it.
But yet,
and the radiation is free.
Now they didn't do any atomic testing down there, I don't think.
The whole region's fucked. It's like Las Vegas.
What do you mean region? It's like a third of the planet. The region's
I know what it is. They tested all over that motherfucker.
now could you explain Las Vegas, the radioactivity of Las Vegas? That concerns me.
it led to the deaths of 700,000 Canadians. All got paid out by the government, and it's just been swept under the rug.
How many Canucks were living in Las Vegas?
I don't know.
Well, why
Archie,
did they kill Canadians?
Archie, that means I better take over that watch they had on Thunderball. You know, the one with the Geiger counter?
Yes.
So then when I go over there, I can report back to
You
Nick
should
about
bring that. I would bring that myself.
the Geiger counter. Let's see how much radiation's left in New Caledonia.
And then I wouldn't, get the fuck out of there after that.
And if I come back with 3 tits, you know what happened.
Well, where would you rather be, New Caledonia or Chernobyl?
I mean,
honestly, bro, I wouldn't be in Chernobyl, but it's a small, concentrated area, and the dust swept across Europe like decades ago, so the whole area is contaminated still. But that's not the same as as hundreds and hundreds of nuclear. They tested way more than it's official, guys. Way more.
So we can make an informed decision, Nick. What type of watch would we take to? We know what we'll take now to New Caledonia. What do we take to Chernobyl on holiday?
Right now, I would take whatever helps you shoot a rifle better.
Why? Is due to the radioactive dogs, or what?
No, because the war is taking place. You fucking retards.
Well, they're not in Chernobyl. Nobody wants to be in Chernobyl. It's like forbidden to go there for more than 15
The
minutes.
whole front line is moving, so it's going to get there eventually.
Nobody wants to take over Chernobyl.
Chernobyl. So we need something that's nuke-proof. So what are we going to take? Come on, Nick.
I have a question for you guys on this topic, by the way. If Chernobyl, you can't go there because of the radiation, right? How come you can go to Hiroshima and Nagasaki? Just something
Doc,
to think
it's
about.
even worse there. It's even worse.
Well, it was that was much longer ago.
Because the Japanese had
Doc, there was a meltdown in Chernobyl in the one not Nagasaki, but the tsunami disaster where they had the nuclear power plant overload. That was something that's actually still active. It's
Well, not
still
only that, but it was on the ground, whereas the atomic bombs that were dropped on Japan were dropped at an altitude of like 2,000 feet. So they were dropped above.
The point is, though,
not a nuclear winter, radioactive. I don't know, Doc. For all we know, it could have just been, like faked. Was it in fact faked?
Exactly. I mean, there was probably some radiation in it, but it probably wasn't a great deal.
You know what? They probably dropped, like apple pies. We killed a lot more Japanese in one single fire
bomb
on Tokyo. That's right.
Speaking of which, there, Chief Tit, did you see that? What do you think of that? Sarkozy faces jail. Can you believe that?
Nicholas?
Whoa, you're way behind on that news there, buddy.
He actually already went, didn't he? I thought he was actually already put him in.
That's already gone and being passed. He was already convicted, sentenced to prison for several years. He was in a prison.
He's out now.
He was in a prison ward where he was getting threats from the other inmates for what he did to Libya, like the Muslim gangs or the dominant gangs in French prisons. And he was now moved to...
Fuck him.
Super.
He was moved to house arrest.
Super.
Here we go. CB, $5. The Amiga Scuba to get is the one I sent you in the WhatsApp, and I have a lot of respect for Amiga. Yes, sir. And 4 rocks, $2. It was Fukushima. Yeah, that's right, Fukushima, because they didn't have power for the cooling.
Okay, enough.
Hajime! Fukushima! Fucking Fukushima, fuck!
I don't understand it. I mean, why is speaking Japanese?
Well, that's not
considered
Japanese.
racist?
It's pidgin. It's a little
Japanese.
racist. Let's be honest. Little racist. It's a little.
Moto panakeku.
So what? Okay, so what do you wear?
Say
That means
leave it
that
at
means
that.
more pancakes. More pancakes.
You wear the you wear the Seiko samurai. Is that what you wear there to Fukushima? Is that?
I would wear a fucking giant, bubble around my other fucking biosuit.
Can we get rid of Nick Miller? That's
No,
for
it says
Green
how.
Man.
It says how. How.
There is no way.
There is no way.
Oh, I wouldn't be too sure of that. I've been on the receiving end of that shit before.
I've been here for a few years, so I know how the game's played.
Archie has a price. There's always a price tag on your head, Chief Tit.
Yes.
There's always a price tag on your tits.
The funny thing is with these new releases and that exciting new releases, is there anything exciting they could do?
Well, I don't know.
Could they make you buy a watch like that new Omega? As everyone has said, they're just going to wait for it to come out cheaper, secondhand, down the track.
But do you even like it, Arch?
What could make you buy something now? I mean, the thing is, I think the truth is a lot of people are saying 15,000 Aussie or 10,000 US. That's a lot of money to come up with for something, don't you think? Like, you've got to be really, really into it to do that.
That's a lot of money.
That's true. You have to be into the hobby if you want a good watch.
I don't know. I bought a Daytona. My first Daytona. I just threw the money at it because I thought I should.
That's a prescient move. That's a prescient investment, to be honest.
Well, you know
good job.
Then you sold it.
You would think so, except for I'm the only fucker who managed to lose money on a Daytona because I bought and sold before the hype began.
Yes, I understand.
Yeah. But you still got a Daytona now, don't you, Marky?
I do, and that was buying the modern, or at least the first version of the Ceramic Panda. That was the only thing that healed my gaping Daytona wound.
But then you probably don't wear it.
Never.
You don't really like it.
I don't.
Are you happy to keep it though?
Not really. You know what? Here's the thing. I don't like selling things because it's a pain in the ass. And I worry more about seller's remorse than I do about buyer's remorse. You know, I just came across a photo. Let me show it to you. Give me a sec. And as soon as I saw this picture, I was like, oh fuck. Why did I do that? Hang on, let me show you guys here. Give me a sec. First, get myself up here. This was me. This was me in a lovely dinner. Look at that watch, Doc.
Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Sky Dweller.
That's
the Sky Dweller?
Yeah, that is correct. And I think to myself, why did I sell that fuck? Why did I sell
Was it too big and heavy? Was it?
Because it smelled like fish. It smelled like fish.
I find myself spending 5 minutes just setting it.
Well, once you really learn how to use your command ring system,
go quick, then it's
it'll go quicker. But I look at it and I think, you know, I don't know, man. I bought it for, believe it or not, I bought it for like 12 and sold it for I think 15.
Wow.
You know, and I think why did I should have just kept it. But what did I do with that money that was so important?
Why do you think the money thing about it? Is that really important to you, the money issue?
No, I worry more. If it was about the money, I would sell the Panda because I never wear it. So there's 20, 22, however much I could get for it, $1,000. I mean, listen, it's a lot of money to do nothing with. 20 grand, 25 grand, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cell phone. It's a lot of money to leave laying around. If I was smart, I would convert it into a Sky Dweller, which I actually would wear. I should call David and ask about the trade.
David SW, David SW, that David?
Yeah.
You like Sky Dwellers, eh?
Well, I like it better than a Panda. That's for darn sure.
Interesting.
I
don't like either.
Picture, Nick?
I'll tell you what, it's easier to read. It's easier to read than a Daytona.
A Daytona is not really a watch, Doc. It's more like a bracelet that tells time if you squint at it for a while.
Well, if you get a vintage Daytona, you can read that all day.
It's just jewelry that you're meant to squint at.
I don't know what happened. I don't know why they changed it.
The older version has more loom, doesn't it? Like the square plots are loomed.
Well, the older one you can just read the time.
But they're dead.
Yeah, the older one you can just read the time. No, I mean the recent version, the one that just changed into this latest, the X most recent version.
Well, I have the one right before it, and it has chromolite, and it's surprisingly legible if you charge it with a UV light. It's surprisingly legible for.
Yeah, it is. It's got a lot of it. So if it's at nighttime and it's charged, then you can see.
Honestly, you can. But I would probably be happier with a Sky Dweller than a Panda, to be honest.
Why? Tell me why. You just like the aesthetic better, or what?
Yeah, I just think the Panda to me wears small, and the Sky Dweller wears with like more wrist presence. So I don't look at it all the time thinking you're too small. Chief Tech, do you know the concept in watches of the fatal flaw?
Yeah.
You have large wrists, so it accommodates you to have a larger
Oh,
watch.
Nikki, don't flatter me. But
if that's flattery, then sure.
That's what she said. Anyway, what it is I every time I look at the Daytona, all I see is its fatal flaw.
That it's not big enough.
That's right. That's what
I don't like how it says. Yeah, that's what she said. I don't like how it says Cosmograph. Like, get that off the fucking
I don't care
dial.
about that. Some people really worry about how much print is on a watch. I don't give a fuck about that. Look, hang on. I'm wearing a let me show you another watch, the one I'm wearing right now. Zooming in, and a lot of people complain that on the Pelagos, look at the what is it, 5 lines of text down there at the bottom.
Yeah, I love that.
You know, a lot of people complain about that.
I don't mind the lines of text. I like that too.
I don't give a fuck. I don't care what it says. As a matter of fact, I can't even read it, so I don't care what it fucking says.
True.
But I don't like it when a tool watch has got too much empty space on the dial.
Yeah, negative space is weird. Fill it all up.
I don't like the name Cosmograph. I wanted to say Daytona or something instead.
Well, stop reading it. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have one.
I love the watch except for that. It's a fatal flaw, like you said.
Well, there are things where you just, if it has that one fatal thing, you just can't stop looking at it.
I know.
Like, what if you have
exactly
a beautiful,
right.
gorgeous woman, right? You just think this is the most amazing woman, but you know, one of her boobs is a B cup and the other is a C cup, and you just can't. The asymmetry of it all just is in your head the whole time that you're playing with them. You can't.
It's time for the operating room. That's all.
Bung, 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 ding, bung, and you just can't get it out of your head.
That's a pretty quick and easy procedure. We can correct that.
Wait, is that by manipulation? How do you fix that in your profession?
Well, I have a friend that's a plastic surgeon.
I thought maybe there was the right crack.
I'll be honest. I don't operate, sure, but I have a good eye because I do art. And so my buddy asked me to come in on a case that he was doing just to assess whether he did the boob job correctly and both sides were equal.
No ptosis?
But he really appreciated it. I just happened to be there, and he said, "Hey, can you take a look at this?"
And you're like, "Sure, hang on, let me."
He didn't have me touch it. I didn't scrub in or nothing. I just looked at it and said, "Yeah, it looks pretty symmetric to me."
Just 3 more puffs on that one.
We love the Goldberg. I got to tell you, we love the Goldberg.
Hi, guys, what do you even do with them? Doing, doing. Like, what do you do? What do you do with them, guys? Doing.
Yeah, implants kind of suck, to be honest.
I don't understand. But all right.
You can buy beverages if you're thirsty, Marky.
Look, I don't mind your life choices. Just don't give me any details because it's weird. But, you know, I support you in your decisions.
Back to Watch Talk, though. You can read the time on the vintage Daytonas. You can.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, Nick? Can you see that, Nick? I don't know if you can see it.
How's the loom on your...
Yep, 100%.
How's the loom on your Sky Dweller, Doc?
The loom on the Sky Dweller. It's...
Let me look again. I think it's kind of thin.
It's comparable. It's comparable to the dial anyway. It's comparable to a Datejust.
See, it has really
loom. Hands, not quite.
Yeah, that's the problem. The hands have those cutouts. They're like skeleton hands. So you can read, I don't know what so you can read the fucking writing.
The subdial, if that's what you want to call it.
Yeah. The one that nobody cares, the subdial that nobody actually cares about.
Right. But it does take away, you know, in terms of loom, it takes away from it because you only have about 2/3 the amount of loom.
Yeah, you're right. You know what I wish that watch had? Okay, this is its fatal flaw. It's a Rolex annual calendar with no day of the week, but it does have the 24-hour scale that nobody actually fucking cares about. It tells you the month, the date.
You change it to something else.
The month, the date, and the 24-hour time. How about if it was the month, the date, and the day, and that was what was on that wheel, you know, that subdial. But I think they didn't want to interfere with their precious day date. But if that had the day of the week instead of that useless 24-hour scale, it'd be worse.
Well,
That's one good thing about the Daytona. It's never had a date on it, Marky.
Exactly. It's a real chronograph.
And by the time
Out of
you unscrew the
curiosity,
pusher,
What do you think of the Daytona, Arch?
Oh, it's beautiful. I had a two-tone one.
Maserati blue.
Blue dial, but I got to tell you, it is feels a little bit smaller compared to a sub, an Explorer 2 or a GMT.
True.
It just.
how much does it cost to service it? The modern Daytona. How much does the service cost for that?
I think it's about 1,000 to 1,500 bucks.
That's a pretty big margin. Would it be 1,500?
I don't imagine that it's 1,500 US. Rolex service costs, provided it's just service and you didn't fuck up the movement. They're pretty. They are reasonable compared to most other brands.
So it'd be like 700 for a date, just maybe, right? And then maybe 1,200
yes,
for a Daytona.
that's about what I would. Yeah, that's about what I would think. Now, assuming you're not stripping it down and polishing everything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's still a lot of money. Let's not.
Yeah, chronographs are pricey to service. That's just the thing.
And they actually, believe it or not, they charge more for the Zenith movement ones.
They're older.
But
probably trickier to service.
Apparently.
Tricky.
Doc, do you wear this one on the bracelet or do you put it on a strap?
I've done both. I picked up a strap with a Rolex buckle, and those aren't terribly pricey. So I've put that on this one. So I've gone with both. I prefer it, I think, with the metal. I like the.
So this is the correct bracelet for that watch, is it?
Well, yes and no. I mean, you had the option, but from what I can tell, most of them had polished centerlinks when you went gold, and this one is fully brushed. But I do see when I research it, some of them are fully brushed. So maybe it was a matter of choice. But I like it with the polished centers when it's the gold watch. It really.
I would never put that on a strap. That bracelet is chief tits. It's tits. It's chief tits. That bracelet is.
I just wanted to see what it would be like, and so I wore it on the black dress strap for a while, and then I put it back to the oyster. I like the oyster.
Of course.
And also, the safest place to put your bracelet is on the watch. I mean, yeah, I could have it in the safe deposit box and it's probably fine, but I'd hate to see something happen. Those bracelets are crazy expensive, like $5,000 just for the bracelet.
Hey, Mark, what do you think of the watch that's, I'll put a link in the private chat.
It's cheap.
It's not bad.
Okay. Listen, I don't know how to share this, but Chief Tip is showing me a two-tone Daytona. It has a champagne dial. It is box and papers from what I can see, and is Australian $25,720, which is what, like 18 US?
Not even. Arch, can you see that one, Arch, in the private chat?
Which one's that?
Click in the private chat.
Have a look in the private chat, Arch. Is that like your one?
Alexa, how much is 25,700 Australian dollars?
No.
Cheaper.
Mine looks similar, but that's actually a champagne dial one.
Yeah.
And that's the Zenith movement one.
What do you think of that one?
They're highly collectible.
$25,000 is a lot to watch.
Yes. I mean,
the Zenith is kind of special. The Zenith is they're kind of quite collectible, but you want to make sure the bracelet's not too fucked because they've been out there for a while.
Yeah. This one looks quite nice, actually. It's just, I sort of like these old sort of ones. Something about them. Like, for example, that they're not too expensive.
You were looking at a bluesy at one stage, weren't you? A
Yes,
Submariner?
I'm still looking at a bluesy. I like the one that that mate of yours has got at Luxuria, but he's got it on hold for somebody else or something.
Okay.
Bastards.
That's
I
actually.
gotta say, it's the Daytona is a great watch. Doc, would you get a modern Daytona to go with your vintage stuff?
I think if it was offered to me by the AD, I probably couldn't turn it down. But I was expecting more when I went and found one. You know, I thought that the fact that it had the metal rim on the bezel, a throwback to the 4-digit, I thought, oh, I'm going to really love this thing. And yeah, it wasn't quite what I was expecting. Still nice.
Mark, what would you get, Mark, out of a bluesy or a two-tone Daytona?
Which one would I get?
Bluesy, the two-tone bluesy, or a two-tone Daytona?
I would definitely get the bluesy. I do like a Submariner. I would, you know. Now, mind you,
I do think bluesy is it's got that blue and yellow just pops.
Yeah,
as a watch. I mean,
now, mind you, I do think of the bluesy as the two-tone bluesy. I think of that as the half a gold watch. It's like training wheels till you get the real watch, which I already have. So I don't really need it. But then again, I don't need a two-tone Daytona either. But you know what? Two-tone is very practical. I have a root beer, two-tone GMT, and it's very practical because the most of the gold is shielded in the center links of the bracelet. So it's definitely more practical. And it's a little loud, but not as loud as a full gold watch.
See, that's quite a nice combination there, Marky. You've got one gold in the solid gold Submariner blue dial.
Yes.
You've got the root beer two-tone.
Correct.
And then you got a sea of. Do you have many two-tone Rolex, or that's it? Just that root beer.
My 34 millimeter date, my original Rolex.
Oh yeah, that's the one you got years ago.
Like in the 80s. Yeah, that one is two-tone also.
I'm so jealous of that collection, you fucker.
Well, just get out there and spend, repulsive amounts of money.
I gotta get these two fuckwits out of school first.
What do you have to
do? Private school?
What do you have to do to get a cubitus? What do you have to do to get a cubitus?
That is some fatherly love right there.
You know that, Arch? 10,000 a month. 10 fucking grand a month.
Oh, I mean, listen, yes.
That's a steel sport.
Fuck off, you know.
That's a lot of money.
Fuck.
Do you have a good state school in your area, or it's too late now?
Nah, it's too late. They're in year 9 and year 10. But as soon as they're gone, that every 2 months, that's 20 grand, I can go and buy fucking a bluesy. Every 2 months.
Nice.
And that's after tax money too.
Have you considered like throwing them into some sort of a plumbing, trade union scheme?
What, after the money I've already spent?
Well, it's not too late. They probably are going to make more money as a plumber than whatever you're setting them up for as software engineers, because AI is going to take all that over. I mean, Archie's kid is doing the exact right thing. You cannot get a trade. You call a tradie right now, you're going to have to get in line.
What the fuck have I spent all this money for to make him a tradie?
Well, all I can tell, because then they'll know how to invest all their money. Just a thought.
Do they enjoy school, Chief Tit?
Of course they do. It's a free fucking ride.
Sort of. I don't know.
It's better than work.
When you get the one-word grunt answer, Larch, how's school going?
Oh, well, they are your kids. Definitely.
No, it was all right, the same as yesterday. Well, what did you do yesterday? I don't remember. Why don't you go fuck yourself then? Assholes. Give me something.
As a father.
Not even a conversation.
Yes.
You got to get them into the right fraternities for drinking parties in college, and then they'll get good jobs.
No, I'm going to get those bitches to go.
Do they go to school near where you live, Chief Tit? Is it far?
Not really. It's around about. The school's got its own bus, so it comes and collects them from 2 streets away.
Oh, okay. So they live at home.
They live at home. Of course, they live at home.
I see. Well, wait, are they in high school or college? I'm confused.
No, they're 14 and 16.
Okay, so that's just high school. I got you. Yeah, no, you can't let him out of your sight yet. It's too soon. Bad things would happen.
I tell you what, that's very scary. $10,000 a month. Fuck.
I know, big money. It's not that's stupidity.
That's a good income in Australia.
After, like, you got to make 200 to be able to afford that after tax. In other words.
Is that for both of them?
Yeah, for both.
Yeah, that's for both.
Yeah, that's an okay price actually if it's for both, because that's the price of one for a really high-end school in the United States.
I feel like you could have entered them into a convent for much less.
Yes. Where is him today? Anybody seen him?
Who's that, Narc?
No, our baritone. The baritone from
Rancher?
baritone. Yeah.
Rancher.
Where is
Well, we never know. We never know. The rancher comes and goes at his own, at his own pace.
That's right.
Now, Archie, you're leaving there tomorrow?
Tonight.
No
show tomorrow.
No show tomorrow because you're traveling. And you're traveling back to Australia.
That's the one, Marky.
Are you going to miss it? Are you sad to leave? You seem like you're a little tired, like you were out partying last night for last hurrah.
As soon as we finish today, I'll be packing. As soon as I finish packing.
Have you had a good time? Has it been fun? Have you been out at night?
He'll be fudge
okay. It's been okay, but it's it's been okay.
You seem a little bit disappointed. Just
I think he's hungover. I think the one who's disappointed is the lady boy who left about 2 hours ago.
I think it's early in the morning over there. That's my theory. It's early in the morning.
It's 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock.
You know, give me a shower. I want juice. I want breakfast.
There's no juice left in the
500 baht. No 500 baht. 5,000 baht. No money, no honey.
I showed the boys. I showed my two boys that video, and they said they were looking at me like they didn't get it. And I said, "You see, there's the difference in generations. You just don't get it." They're looking at me like, "What the fuck just happened there?"
Well, that's how Archie's children look at him.
Exactly it.
He's used to that look in his house.
They just didn't get it.
Yes. No.
They just
give
don't
you a
get
shower.
it. That's it.
I give you juice.
Yeah, that's right.
I give you 500 baht. No 500 baht.
No.
Nana Kim will live on in perpetuity.
The little one, the 14-year-old Archie, he turned around and he said, "Well, sort of Archie had a point in a way. She wasn't very nice, was she?"
Snaky.
Snaky. Yeah, that's right.
Also, she looked a little bit like one of the chambermaids. I mean, she was not equipped to be a working girl at her station in life. Not at that stage.
No.
That's exactly it, Marky.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
Are you saying she's not the first one picked, Mark? Is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is you would more likely find her at the foot massage. Massage, handsome man. But she'd be at the foot massage, like at the fish spa. Archie, have you done a fish spa? Where you put your feet in the tank with the fish and eat your dead skin?
Yeah, it's okay.
Piranhas, I take it.
It's a little tickly.
Oh, that's fucking awful, the thought of that. You're putting your feet in somebody else's revolting. Ugh.
Well, no, the fish eat all the dead skin cells. So, you're not really putting your foot.
How do you know they eat the fucking dead skin cells?
Because you can literally watch them and the water is very clear.
You're saying there's none of the other shit still in the water? How do you know?
Wait. What is that in the water?
With the
is that
shit.
a callus?
After they eat, they have to shit.
It's a big toe. Look, there's a big toe. Is that a big toe floating around in there? I've done it. I didn't like it. I'll be honest with you. It's very fucking tickly. Did not care for it one little bit. But the water was clean, Doc. There's no gravel at the bottom to collect, the poo, and it's the filters are, I don't know. The water was clear, but the fish were hungry, and that felt very weird.
So they take out the fish poop on a regular basis.
Yeah, it's filtered. There's a filter, so the water is heavily filtered. But you know what? It's not legal in most Western countries because there's the theory that you could get infection from an open.
Fucking shit.
It's not a theory.
Hepatitis.
There's a theory.
Well, let me just say,
real.
I survived foot spa in Thailand. I survived.
Yeah, show us your foot.
Well, the problem is it does look a little, like this.
That's right. The claw that remains.
Well, you know what? Little did they didn't tell me they were going to be fucking piranha. I thought they were a little,
Imagine you go to the doctors and how did this happen? Well,
foot fish spa. Somewhere I have a video of me in foot spa. I'll look it up one of these days. I definitely have a video of me using the first Japanese style toilet that I ever encountered in my life. That was in. I
need to ask the obvious question that everybody's thinking now. When you took that video, were you taking the shot of your face and your reaction to it, or were you giving us an action?
This is a very good question. What I was doing was I had the camera focused on the panel on the wall because it had a lot of buttons. It had a lot. The panel had a lot of buttons. And anyway, well, I'll tell you what. Give me a minute. Let me see if I can find you the video.
Well, do we fucking see anything, or you just put it on the panel?
No, it's not like calm your tits. It's not intimate. Okay, you're not gonna. There is no.
Aren't these toilets just like on the floor? Aren't they just like holes on the floor, more or less?
You're talking about the most luxurious toilet you can get.
This was fucking fancy. This was.
It's not one of those with the water jets, is it?
Yeah, all of that shit.
It was, yes. That's exactly what it was.
Did you get the one that's got the infrared eye that can actually find where your asshole is?
It's like installing a car wash in your bathroom. Golly.
Those are Japanese toilets. It's luxurious.
Yeah, man, they're fantastic. They got this one that I got in Dubai. You know that big hotel in Dubai at the Atlantis? They got the one in the suite there, and it's got an infrared eye. It finds your asshole.
Let me tell you, that actually was the bit of the problem. Was the trajectory on this thing. This was.
You know what though? When it's finding your asshole, doesn't it give you a weird feeling that it's first looking at your asshole?
I didn't feel that sense of.
I don't know, but I'm glad you didn't tell me that before I went to the toilet. Then.
I mean, it kind of has to look at it before it can squirt at it, right?
I felt a little violated. Truth be known, it was problematic.
It could be hacked technically.
All right, hold on. I found it.
Some might call it. Well, we can't say that word, but water, and then the R word that we can't say.
All right, hold on. You want to see this?
Okay, so this is a little complicated. I want to be sure that the pressure isn't going to be too high. We'll start with it very low.
Your voice is definitely different.
The seat temperature is low, the water temperature in the middle, and yeah, I'm definitely not doing that one.
Oh my God.
All these pictures.
Like I hear noises, but I don't feel.
What happens when you push the button that has a do not? Like, do not do this one. What happens with that one?
Yeah, what is the do not button?
What is Danger Will Robinson? That's
you enjoyed that so much, you sick fuck.
I still want to know what that button does. Don't do this one though. Don't push this one.
Hey Doc, did you notice how his voice went into sort of like, oh, I've got to reduce the
It was flawless. I did not have to change.
Listen to the delight in his voice, the dirty bastard.
It's still going.
A lot of laughing.
I'm kind of wiggling around a little bit.
It's a very unhealthy delight. Oh my God.
It's topped. I think that's probably enough. It's making some noises. Right? Okay. It's making noises. I really don't know what's going to happen. I hit the trap button. It's like,
oh my God.
There's a dryer also. Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna compose myself. It's like someone has a blow.
You know,
I'm not gonna compose myself. hey, hit that button. And it was like someone just started a blow dryer, like 4 inches from my personal areas. Straight underneath.
Gold.
Glowing like toilet hose stuff, but you
Oh
know,
my god.
it's yeah, I think I'm gonna go now. Okay, so
Oh my god, that's fucking
Let me
hilarious.
just say, it was a very full cleansing experience, but it was a little horrifying in its own way. I was very afraid of that one button that showed actual penetration.
so what's the button do that has a slash through it? Do not do this. What does that one do?
Yeah, what the fuck was that one? Was that like some injection
I was
thing? What-
afraid to push it. There was no way.
That's the only button that didn't have
You know what?
English below to tell you what it was going to do.
There's a red button, do not press.
Yeah, I think the American version of that would not have had a slash. It would have just had like a coat hanger.
Oh my god, that was fucking hilarious.
It was very. I was very nervous. It was,
The delight in your voice was sickening. You
I felt
dirty.
like, listen. Think of the first prisoner of Mother England that landed on shore, Australia, and knew nothing about tarantulas, and and scorpions and fucking kangaroos and emus. I felt like I was exploring new territory. It was just like that.
My god,
Very scary.
that is hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
The one button showed penetration. It showed penetration. I'm like, now I have something that costs like $20 instead of the $2,000 that a toilet like that costs. I have the Thailand butt gun.
Yeah.
And you can penetrate yourself with that too if you're not careful. You just have to be very careful with the water pressure, the angulation, triangulation. You got to be careful. Anyway.
Your voice was gold. Your voice went from normal matter of fact to ooh.
Marcus says, I got more than I bargained for, and that is 100% true. I sure did. I did. I got a prostate exam. All in the
Oh my god.
never readout.
I can't fucking keep it together.
For your prostate.
Jeez.
Anyway. How are you, Arch?
Hey, not too bad. What's going on here, guys?
Oh, nothing. We were just talking about plumbing.
Plumbing.
The electric toilets, aren't you? Those ones?
Yes.
Have you been using the butt gun in your bathroom?
Actually, I've got that electric toilet that has the thing that comes out.
Oh, well, that's what we were just discussing.
That's what we're talking about.
That's
pretty good.
class.
You got to position yourself right, but
yes, you do. It's like it knows. It has the electric eye.
He doesn't have the infrared one.
No. There's some of them have like heat-seeking missile capability.
It comes out and it's got a little camera and it finds your asshole and it goes, oh,
like a drone.
like a drone.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Chief Tit,
did you wipe afterwards to make sure? After it was dry?
Chief Tit, I'm a dog trainer. I don't need an excuse. What's your excuse? You went to fucking law school, okay? Yeah. What excuse do you have for this behavior and humor? Go ahead. I'll wait for my answer.
It's me sort of letting out, being serious all the time and then going, fuck, just letting it go.
If you had to defend yourself on a charge of moral turpitude at this exact moment, what would be your defense? I was just letting it out, Your Honor.
Yeah, that's right. It was my therapy. These are my therapy sessions. You know that, don't you?
That's what they said with indecent exposure charges. I was just letting it out.
So what was I going to say? Do you do confirmation wiping after the drying though? To make sure you have to, don't you? I mean, you'd be a barbarian if you didn't.
Confirmation wipe.
Yeah, the confirmation wipe. You can't have it.
No, I call it dabbing. It's a dab. You don't really need to wipe. Wiping smears, dabbing absorbs.
No, when I say wiping, I mean it as a generic term. I didn't mean
Well,
like
it's not at all generic. Wipe means a swipe. There, you know, words have meaning, Your Honor, your counselor. Words have meaning.
Well, actually, what it's probably, I mean, if you really had to describe it, it's probably a little bit more intrusive than a dab or a wipe.
Well, no, I'm referring to the single square of toilet paper so that you can just check for the fullness of the cleansing experience. It's a quick dab with that.
Oh, you don't check that you've wiped your ass properly.
Well, you know what, you have to check, you know. I mean, like you don't get a digital readout out of even the electronic toilet that Archie has. You know, you're not getting a printout.
Absolutely. You don't want to be walking away with getting like a bit of an itch down there.
That's right. You have to do a manual check, but you definitely don't want to do a digital check. You want to go full analog. This is an analog, full analog experience. Guys, I would not be talking about this if this man here would take charge of this show. It's your fault, Archie.
Hey, thank you. Just having such fun there. It's been a good trip. I'm glad to be coming back.
You know, in the Middle
obviously
East,
Tanzil was right.
In the Middle East, they use their hand, you know, and then in India, they just poo in the street.
Well, thanks for that, Nick. Getting back to
Speaking of Hisham,
have you been there, Nick? Have you been anywhere outside of Canada?
Yeah, I've been born outside of Canada.
He's Serbian, just like Bear. $10.
$10. Thank you so much. Crown Gold, $10. Omega is going smaller while Tudor is going bigger with the release of the Black Bay 68.
Oh my God.
I like the dial colors, and it's the same thickness as the 41mm. Is 43mm too big?
You know, I tried that one on when I bought the Tudor tampon. I did try on that Black Bay 68, and I had to stop myself from buying it. It's that good. It does not wear too big. Well, yeah, I agree. I agree. But I almost had I didn't go in there to buy that. I went in there to buy the 39mm Tudor red. But anyway, it wears, if you have the wrist for it, a lot of people can get away with it. I think you'd want at least a 6 3/4 inch wrist, but if you're 7 inches and above, it will not seem too big.
It's strange the sizings. The one thing I will say is that a 40mm Rolex is bigger than any other brand. I remember I went through that phase where I got that Seiko diver.
Seiko.
It was kind of a Mass 62 tribute. And
you gave it to your kid.
The funny thing is, it felt too small at 40mm.
Because you were used
it
to
just
the
felt
maxi
too
dot.
small. Yeah, that's exactly it.
It's not only it's a maxi case.
The Tudor.
They have a maxi case, but the Rolex case.
The way they do the sizings.
It's part. It's a cushion case. It's a cushion case. Originally, Rolex was cushion case in the 30s. They adapted a cushion case to the wristwatch aesthetic. So they have that diameter where they measure it in some way. Exactly. The Oyster is a cushion case adaptation to the more traditional Patek Philippe contours, which really pioneered the 570 of the wristwatch aesthetic.
The interesting thing with these Tudors is when they say 68, that was the year of the original. So 1968. And
guys, for me, the biggest thing how it feels how it looks on the wrist is there's a big difference between case diameter and dial diameter. So if it's got a big, thick bezel, it's always going to look much smaller on the wrist, I reckon.
Also, too, the lug, depending on if it's 50, 52, it's going to wear much bigger than if it's 48 or 50.
I think the thickness is going to make it wear bigger.
I agree, Doc. And this is a tall-ish watch, but it's but not too much. I don't know. See, this model has a flat wrist, and so do I. So I was able to carry it off nicely.
So have you seen the difference
between a Black Bay Pro that's 58 rather than
Yeah, it's too thick. Everyone says it's too thick.
They could make
I've got it. I've got the one on. I don't find it too thick for me. That's this watch here.
Hang on.
I think you have a chunky wrist, all right.
Not really.
Take it out. Let us see it. Let us see it from the side. Give us a side shot. Yeah, it doesn't look bad on you at all.
But see, I don't find that whole thickness thing. I think it's a bit of a furphy, and I love it.
Can I ask you a question? Are you wearing a Tudor now just simply because you're, the $20,000 tuition bill per month?
Not really. I've got my Rolex as well, which is the same size.
What size wrist do you have there, Chief Tit?
About 16 and a half.
Come on, give it to us in American.
That's less than a 7-inch wrist.
That's like Tim Masso. It's like chicken legs, like chicken.
Yeah, it's not a very big wrist.
Look how delicate you are. Look at that.
Very delicate, yeah. No, but have you seen the difference between for example, the Tudor Ranger and the Explorer? They're just not the normal Explorer an Explorer. And they seem to have the same sort of diameter case, but the Ranger looks so much bigger because the dial just takes up a lot more.
Yeah, I think the 36mm configuration for the Explorer, that's where you really want the applied hour marker Arabic numerals to not look jumbo. It throws it all off if they're too big.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I really like that 68.
Why don't you get it? And then you can use it. You don't have to worry about fucking scratching.
I know. I mean, I do. I have a bunch of Tudors. You know the one? Okay, here's a funny story. I have the Tudor Panda chronograph also, which is much bigger than the Daytona. So for me, it wears better because it is bigger, but I never wear that either.
Why don't you wear it? Is it too heavy?
I don't know. I think because I like a dive bezel.
Yeah.
I like a dive bezel.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, Chief Tit, Mark Goldberg is a huge Breitling fan, which is refreshing. Breitling's a great. I love Breitling myself.
I love Breitlings as well.
Yeah. Also, it's a problem. I need to stop.
I've been looking at those Super Oceans for you, Arch. I think they're such a good buy.
Especially, the used ones.
They are. They're amazing buy. Yeah.
Yeah, second hand, of course. Yeah, they're great.
Yes.
There really is no American brand to rival Breitling. Hamilton is an American brand. There's no other real. That's the big American brand. That's all American aesthetics, guys. Like Breitling with its football teams and its American fighter planes. Like that's an American brand through and through.
I hate that.
They're also popular in England. It's very blingy. For a steel watch, they're very blingy. Breitling.
But interesting. I didn't know that. Interesting.
Paul Hollywood wears Breitling. He's the British judge on the Great British Bake Off.
Oh, okay.
He's the
funny thing is with Breitling is they have been horrible. Is there any valuable? Let me ask you this: is there any valuable Breitlings like second hand?
Yeah, you know which one is second? Archie, I'll tell you right now, the Emergency, the vintage from the 90s. It's neo-vintage.
Yeah, those are cool. But
that was worn by Victor Booth, the arms trader, and it was worn by many, many like high-level like CIA chiefs. Like really, a lot of people in the deep state like love that.
They're cool, but they're not like.
You've been watching Watches of Espionage again, haven't you?
I've watched Watches of Espionage, but I knew it from before.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
it's not real collectible. Listen. Here's the thing with Breitling. You got to.
No, they're not. They're not collectible, Mike. You're right.
40 or 50% off, and then just enjoy the fuck out of it because then they're worth their money. Then for sure they are, and you can get out.
Yeah, I think the B01 movement. You know how they went in house with their movement. They may be more collectible.
No,
Doc has a
not.
Breitling. Doc has. You don't think so?
No, listen. I bought the Chronomat, the 42mm Chronomat Breitling with the B01 movement retails for just shy of $10,000, and I bought it for $5,000. So,
okay.
And now you can buy them for like $4,700. So they drop like a rock. It's a great movement. It's a beautiful watch, incredible bracelet, terrific value on the secondary market. Terrific. You're wearing a $9,000-$10,000 watch for $5,000 or less.
Out of the various lines that they have the Chronomat, which is now, I know that you have one, Mark. It's like the polished bezel, updated variant of the traditional kind of, like we mentioned, the Emergency style. The Emergency style adapted into the current line of the Avenger. So now they have a mechanical movement style of that That's like a fighter pilot
I like
style
the
of watch.
Avenger line. I like the Avenger line. I had an Avenger GMT there for a while.
I think they have some unit branding as well. Like they might have some special forces units or whatever. They
Yeah,
have.
I hate all that
Yeah.
code. I hate all that.
Yeah, I don't like that shit either.
It's okay when they do it with military units. But
It's cool if you look at it from the perspective of like there were vintage military watches that did have some branding, maybe Tudors in the 80s and stuff. And then maybe later on, it might be cool to have that. Like in 10 years, you look back and like, I have this
but when it's
fucking...
new. Yeah.
Man, they're all
Or it
getting
could be like stolen valor.
Yeah, but they're all getting onto that. The original thing was really the comics on the Sea Dweller, wasn't it?
Yes. Well, true. But
Are they trying to sort of like derive some sort of extra benefit from some association? I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
they co-branded it with, they put their name on it because they were private labeling it for Comex, who helped them design and test that watch. So that was kind of a unique situation. But Rolex has always liked jumping into bed with like James Cameron, people who took their watches to a different level. It's just very rare today because the technology is.
Yeah, but they sell out a bit too. I mean, they've always put on those little symbols, those coats of arms from the Middle Eastern countries. Sometimes
they don't do that much anymore.
But they used to.
Yes,
You know?
yes. As a matter of fact, they made those watches for Domino's, which are now pretty collectible. The OPs, I think they are, but they don't do that anymore. They even told Tiffany that they wouldn't put Tiffany on a dial anymore. So Tiffany started opening up rollies and putting the word Tiffany right on the dial by their own watchmakers. And then Rolex cut them off. And Tiffany, which was once one of their largest ADs, has not been an AD for 20 years because of that.
That's a striking image of a Breitling there, Doc. You have.
That's a beautiful Breitling. Look at that one, Arch. That's the sort of thing I think Arch wants with the Tudor.
Yeah, Super Ocean. I think they do that. They got the Super Ocean 2 and the Super Ocean 1. The 2 has a ceramic bezel.
This is his originally his Super Ocean 1 with the aluminum bezel that he was nice enough to sell to me.
Now tell us what you when and where do you wear that watch, Doc? I know it has some special powers.
Well, I mean, it's, people who aren't into watches, and especially women, tend to like this particular watch out of the watches I've worn.
That's your happy hour. That's your happy hour success watch.
It looks like you're a ship captain or like a cruise ship captain, and women love captains in that white uniform.
Captain Stupid.
Well, that's a good thing. I think that's cool.
Or even a pilot for an airliner. It's the same kind of aesthetic. The white uniform, the long, straight pants lines.
My father-in-law's got one of these. Got a Breitling. My brother-in-law. All of this from my wife's side of the family. They're Dutch. They're literally the entire family are in the Merchant Marine. They're all captains. So even her own sister's a captain. The sister's husband's a captain. They've all got these Breitlings. They've all got Breitlings. I love them.
Yeah. Is it this line of Breitling, the Navitimer?
No. This is a Super Ocean. They've all got Super Oceans.
Sorry. I know it's a Super Ocean. I made a mistake. Yeah, I know. So they all have Super Oceans, is what I mean.
Super Oceans, yeah. Some of them are Heritage. Some of them have got the normal, the modern one with the numerals on it. It's more of a normal dive watch.
This is interesting. This is the 42, but then the 38 is technically, I suppose it's said to be a female watch or a woman's watch.
Yeah. Hold on a sec. I'll show you a photo. I'll show you.
Everybody could have one.
Where's he gone?
He's gone to grab a watch.
He went to go look at watches.
Hell yeah, bring that watch.
I also have vintage Breitling. So I've got 3 Breitlings. I got the Type 20. I've got the Super Ocean.
Yes, bring them out if you have them. And also, Mark, I wanted to ask you, what do you think of the Black Bay 68 now that you've had it for a while?
No, I have the 58.
Oh, did somebody get the 68 already?
Well, we were just talking about the 68.
I know, but I thought you had. Never mind.
No, I have a 58. I mean, this is a Pelagos. I have a Pelagos. I have a Royale. I have the first Black Bay, which was 41 millimeters, burgundy bezel, smiley face, ETA movement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I have one other, and I have the chronograph, all in Tudor. So I like a Tudor.
Yeah, I would say to Crown Gold that 43 is not necessarily too big at all. If you have wrists like Mark's there, you can easily wear that. Not even a problem. And it would look fine
This
as
is
like not even
42, and it has a big
yeah.
lug width.
How big's that one, Mark?
42.
42, yeah. That's good for you, that size.
Yeah.
This is the 36.
I would say that's small, Mark. I would say that's small on your wrist.
No, 42 definitely doesn't look too small.
No, I would say that I would even go up to 43.
That's
it would
the
look
what? Sorry,
spectacular.
what size
it
is
wouldn't
that,
look
Chief
bad.
Tit?
So this one here's a 36, and this is the 38 in the Heritage.
Are these ladies or men?
Ah, Chief Tit.
Well, no, actually, they're ladies, but they market them as sort of unisex. But
you know what?
Really,
keep
36, and this is 38. They're both women's, really.
Keep those watches handy. I'm going to run get one. But keep that Heritage out.
The Heritage.
Interesting.
Yeah,
this is like a deep dive.
Did you buy those new Chief Tit?
Yeah, well, you know, it's for the wife, Arch. You know, they like to go into a thing and they like the whole process. You know.
The Breitling makes a great watch. She loves Breitling, your wife.
Yeah, she loves it. Absolutely loves it. Yeah. And they're very nice to her in the shop. I mean, that's the thing. They know the game well.
Yeah.
They're also famous for having some of the most comfortable boutiques. You know, they say FP Journes can be really luxurious and comfortable in a different way than the other maisons, but Breitling is known for its really relaxing, comfortable style.
Oh, it's an amazing boutique. It's like a man cave.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
IWC is also very good. IWC has some amazing boutiques as well.
Man, that's exactly how you describe it, Archie. Fantastic. A man cave. I love this one here. It's got this heritage green. I'm not sure if I can get a better sort of.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Light on it.
Do you ever wear them? No.
No. These are both hers. You see how that green, sort of like that sunburst green, looks good. And then they got this thing here, and she's got a matching Vespa, which is this color as well.
Remember the Breitling booth in Vegas there, Archie? Boy, that was really a nice man cavey kind of boutique there. Big couches.
You know what else she's got, Arch? She's got the chrono mat on this. You know the silver one?
Yeah.
She's got a new one of those as well. So she's got the whole collection in green.
Did they give you much of a discount?
None. Nothing. But they were nice with this. What they did with this was they gave us also the bracelet.
Yeah.
With the deployant clasp for free.
Yeah.
And that's like a $900 sort of item.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you like the? Do you have shark mesh on those, or
on this one? This one does.
How do you like the shark mesh?
It's good. It's good. They make a good one. I've got a Squale as well, and its shark mesh is shit.
What's wrong with the Squale shark mesh that makes it so bad?
It's very sort of chunky. See how this look?
Yeah. Is it like beads of rice?
It's very, very easily, very sort of. It's like a snake. It sort of slivers. But whereas the other one, the Squale one is very. They've got bits in it, if you know what I mean.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. So you'd feel it like sometimes cinch onto like your arm hairs, or no?
Oh, definitely rips your arm hairs off.
Yeah. That's not good.
Crown Gold has got a
super chat.
Yeah.
$5. Chief Tit, does your Black Bay Pro fit under a dress cuff comfortably?
Yes, it does.
That's a great watch. I love that watch.
But it depends on how. When I wear a French cuff or when I have my other normal fixed cuffs, I have a button there and a button there. And on the fixed cuff, non-French cuff version, I always fix this button closed and leave the front one open anyway. And on the other hand, I do it on the other way around. But they both fit under the French cuff anyway.
I couldn't find what I was looking for. It must be in the safe. Boo.
You don't have them?
But what I have is I have the 57 Heritage Breitling in the first Rainbow Edition, which was one of 250 that sold out in like 2 hours.
The Rainbow Edition?
Yeah.
Yep, that's the one that my sister-in-law got. The one that's the captain.
Yeah. Now they made it in 2 editions. The first one sold out so fast at 250 that they made a second edition with a slightly different colored bezel at 1,000 pieces, and that sold out in 2 hours also.
Right.
Those 2 sell at either at or slightly above their retail.
Did it sell out like that during the watch bubble during 2020, 2021?
Yeah, it was done during COVID and dedicated by Breitling to the NHS in Britain, in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
But they still sell. They only retail like 5,000, and mine, which is slightly rarer, you probably have to pay like 7,000 for it or so, and the blue bezel one, which was one of 1,000 pieces, you could probably get it for 5,000 to 6,000.
Nice.
Yeah. You guys are saying I lost another Breitling. It's true. I think it's just in the safe, guys. I rotate watches from the safe into the house.
You ended up finding that Breitling, didn't you, Marky?
I did. I thought the housekeeper.
Actually, Kitten found it.
He did. Although I think he lost it too, because he's the one who filed it away. What happens is, occasionally he cleans the place up, and I'm one of these people who are like, do not touch my piles of organized madness, because like I know what's in them. And then once in a while he'll clean up, and then that becomes a problem. You know, someone touches your shit, then you don't know where it went. What can I tell you? But it was gone a year and a half, that watch. I was very, very glad to get it back. Very glad.
Very true.
Almost bought another one.
I just posted my all-time favorite current Breitling in the chat, in the private chat. You guys can pull it up.
Let's have a peeky poo.
You like the Premier.
42 millimeter, 100 meter water resistance, not too thick. Black dial, looks like a huge ass fucking Bucherer chronograph. 42 mils on the wrist.
I love those printers.
Kid says that's thick. I don't know. It's all right. I like. Listen, the nicest thing I can say about this is I like the pushers. I'm not keen on the numerals with no loom. I was
influenced by the chronograph aesthetic of the Patek Philippe annual calendar chronograph.
Yeah, I can
and
see
then
that.
Also the Bucherer 42 or 41 millimeter larger chronographs, and like Chopard has similar ones.
They got these ones here. The one in the middle here is of that same sort of range, but in the blue. You see that one?
Yes.
That's quite nice.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
That one there. That's nice in real life.
Yeah, those are all really good. Even the green one looks fucking really good.
Yeah, it does look slick.
Breitling has great catalogs as well too.
Yeah.
Notice a lot of makers now are moving away from catalogs. Catalogs are really difficult to get now. Do you find that?
Was that a catalog or was that a book?
It's a chronolog, so it's a catalog.
It's a catalog.
Okay, yeah, okay, got it.
Yeah,
this is how Rolex does it now too. They made a big show of giving me the current Rolex book at the AD because they don't get that many of them, and they're thick. They're hardcover, just like that.
Yeah, so that's technically a book. I would say that's a book as opposed to a current catalog by the brand, because the catalogs will be issued as, that's like a more compendium of the chronographs of the brand, I would say.
This is drawing heavily from.
Yeah, I used to collect all that stuff.
Yeah, Punt, if you have a shitload of those books and stuff. You gave Hoff your AP books.
Yeah, I gave him some stuff. Yeah, Hoff's a great guy.
You know what watch I'm actually disappointed with much? You know that the IWC that I showed you, the Jacques Cousteau one with the wood at the back?
Yes.
I never wear the fucking thing. I never wear it because of that thing we talked about, how it goes from a big watch down to a really skinny part. I can't wear it because of that.
Yeah. You did a swap with your brother-in-law, didn't you?
My cousin, yeah.
Yeah.
Pontiff, did you ever have that book, Patek Philippe in America, where it talked about their advertisement campaigns in America?
I do. I have that.
You have that book. Yeah, that stays in my memory as like something that really is impactful, because Patek is such a European brand, but obviously they have a massive influence on the United States, so it's like It's interesting how they would do that marketing.
Yeah, that's a great book. That it's they're quite expensive. Yeah, I wonder what the fuck I'm supposed to do with all these books.
I love those kinds of books. No, you're right. You should have a personal library of those
Well, I'll
types of
tell you
things.
what to do with them, Arch. You tear the pages out and you sign them, autograph them, and you sell each individual page. They're worth more, torn apart than they are as an actual book.
Technically, he's right. He's right. Technically, you could do that.
Funny you should
make a lot of money from that.
I reckon what Archie should do is every time he sells a watch privately to someone, he should give a little certificate with it saying this was owned by me, and give a little spiel about what he thought about the watch and all of that type of thing.
I would suggest having a book, one of those copies of the book or copies of another book that you want to take those pages out of, and really having a nice page like that given to a person and signed is a nice thing to frame.
That's what I'm saying. Frameable. Listen, Chief, to your point, it's not really an Archie thing, and I'm going to tell you why. A lot of times when you're selling a watch, guys will contact you and say, listen, I'm going to make you an offer. It's going to be a lot less than what you're asking for, but I'll give it a really good home. It'll be loved. And Archie made this video saying, I don't care if you fucking love it. I don't need to send it to a good home. It's not a fucking puppy. Once I have the money, I don't care if you hit it with a fucking hammer.
That's how he feels about it, but that's not necessarily how the buyer would feel about it.
But he also likes to have a good home. He likes to have a good home for it.
Watch. Look at these dickheads that go, for example, on the auctions and buy Sylvester Stallone's fucking watch. Like, who gives a shit? It's just a watch, but it was his watch.
Okay, hold on. Sylvester Stallone, Archie.
Yeah, but Sylvester Stallone knows nothing about watches.
Sylvester Stallone,
that
Archie
knows plenty about watches. Sylvester Stallone knows nothing about watches.
I'm just saying, Archie doesn't like ideas. It's very good of you to think of things that he should do, but he doesn't like to do things.
No, I'm not.
He didn't really like ideas.
Down his mouth or down his throat. I'm not saying.
Let me tell you what.
Mark knows me well. You've known me a while, haven't you, Mark?
I have. And I've only ever gotten in trouble with you when I gave you ideas. You said, yes, thank you.
I fully retract that. I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, Archie doesn't like ideas because they smell like work. He doesn't like idea. He's got his thing covered.
You can see how that's smart. Really intelligent people find ways to not work.
Look, I present to you, ladies and gentlemen, your pontiff. Hey.
Round of applause.
There's the proof. The proof is in the pudding, and the pudding is in the proof.
Yeah. Marky, what watch do you like to pair with your new Genesis?
It is red on the interior, so I really should wear the red Tudor. I have two burgundy Tudors. One is dial and bezel, and the other is bezel. Yeah. Anyway, Tudor.
And you've got another one on the Jubilee too, isn't it?
Yes, I bought the Black Bay. The Black Bay 58 is on a Juby, so it's fancy looking. That'd be the one. That'd be the pairing.
You buy what you love, don't you, Marky?
I do, and fuck these guys who don't.
Yeah, exactly. No, you only buy what you don't want to sell. That's my opinion. I get getting Rolexes and Pateks to sell them, and you can be fluid with your finance, but only if you want a larger collection. If you only want just a few watches.
Inspired you to buy an Omega or a Breitling today? I think Breitling would be a great brand for you on the secondary market, mate.
The only like $10,000 Canadian or $15,000 Canadian watch I would even want. All the other ones, I only want a few watches, maybe 4 or 5. So a lot of them are more high end because I've just been influenced by more high end stuff. The only low end watch I really want is that bathyscaphe, and that's the only Blanc pen I want. All the other ones are Rolex, Patek, Daniel Roth.
What do you like about that bathyscaphe thing? What appeals to you about it?
You got to understand how influential it was. I'm going to make a whole fucking video on it. You can watch that, but it's more complicated than it seems. It was extremely influential. It actually changed the way the entire industry worked. You got to understand the history of Daniel Roth in the 90s. It was like a compact. The case was avant-garde. The dial was a little bit avant-garde. It influenced FP Journe. Then in the early 2000s, there were jumbo watches, but they didn't have sparse dials. that was the first dial design where it evoked the kind of ancient Gothic medieval aesthetic sort of thing from like 1200 AD, of like a sparse dial, kind of like a cathedral, and it really made a big impact. All this since then, there've been a lot of more sparse dials from Rolex catalog. Like a lot of it's been shifted around because of the influence of that watch. It was 2013 when that came out.
I don't see any connection to that fucking watch in a Gothic fucking
But
church.
Mark, Nick, don't you want something affordable, man? Something like a Breitling you'd get for a couple $1,000. That's all
I
you
think
need.
I consider it to be a shitter. I'm a snob. Not Breitling as a whole. I would want a higher end Breitling, like a $10,000 or $15,000 one. But I know what you're saying. But I'm still kind of snobbish. I would even not go for the classic AVI. Would be the one I would choose. You know, Valjoux 7750, very good watch. I could get it for $6,000 Canadian. But I still feel like it's just like shitter tier.
You've got very, very expensive taste there, buddy.
Yeah,
he does have expensive taste.
On a beer budget.
I mean, I just think you're better
My
off
budget's
to have
not bad. My budget's not bad, bro. I'm getting better
Nick,
budget.
How old are you now?
I'm fucking 33.
I mean, it's a good age to get a beautiful watch for yourself, man. What do you think?
I think I'm gonna have to start my actual business that I've been planning for so long, and then I want to capitalize, and then see whatever I can get after that. Because I want to see how
Dog trainer
successful
is
I can
bad.
make it.
Computer played up.
Hmm.
Well, I'm trying to talk Nick into getting something. What watch do you think Nick should get there, Marky? Tell me. What do you think he should get?
Oh, Nick needs to get that Omega GMT that he hates.
We got a super chat. One
Super
up trading, $10. Super sticker. Thank you. One up trading.
Nice big one.
Very nice.
Thank you so
Now, what
much
do you
there.
think would be a watch for him?
Let me ask you, Marky.
Yes.
If God forbid everything was taken away from you, right?
Yes.
What one watch do you think, from all your experience, would be enough for you? And I don't mean like a gold sub. That's just ridiculous. But what's a good steel watch? You'd say that's enough. This is it.
If I was picking one steel that I have already.
Oh, anything you'd want. They're just anything.
Well, first let me go from what I have. The best steel that I have, the most coveted steel that I have, would be between the Panda and the Pepsi.
Yep.
Right? I have the Pepsi on Jubilee.
Yep.
And both of those are very coveted steel watches. But from what I have in steel, honestly, what I would keep would be the Hulk. I think the Hulk gives me more pleasure than, honestly, either of those other two, and I think it's more unique. But, you know, if you're throwing the world, if you're throwing the entire world open in steel, well, I don't know. I haven't worn a Land Dweller yet.
You know, Mark, what makes the Hulk so incredible is that it actually has that kind of green of when Rolex came out with the 2003 Submariner with the green dial, green bezel. You know, that Submariner in 2003 with the green bezel, that's like the maxi case variant of that. Because as I just mentioned, Rolex shifted into a more sparse dial aesthetic, 41 millimeter case, slightly thinner lugs in the maxi case, and a more sparse dial for spreading out its applied hour markers more. So that watch is more like a mid 2000s homage to that 2003, and that connects you to the 90s, which is like a kind of vintage.
That's answering this question, though.
Well, I mean, from what I currently have, would have to be the Hulk. From what I don't have, I mean, I got to try on a Land Dweller to see if I find it underwhelming. Because otherwise, then maybe it's, oh boy, you know, in Rolex.
One watch you could only ever have, and it'd be a fucking Land Dweller. Serious?
No, probably not. I'm guessing, listen, here's what I think. I'm guessing I'll find it a little underwhelming. You know, I am. So probably the Hulk. I probably have what I would most want. Now, I don't know. There's Patek with their Cubitus. There's Lange with their Odysseus. But, I'm pretty fond of my Hulk. $10.
$10.
$10.
$10.
Chrome gold.
Here we go. Crown Gold. Here we go. I would much rather have a watch owned by Archibald Chesterfield III than Sylvester Stallone. No way Sly kisses and smells his watches like AC3. That's worth extra money.
See, I told you, I'm not the only one on this.
Well,
It's residue in the links.
you know what? You could actually clone Archie like Dolly the sheep from that residue.
That's another thing. We could go into that as a sideline.
That is a point. Now, if you could hurry up the growing process, because Archie at 20 was a very beautiful boy. So I don't know, but I don't have time to wait.
I got to tell you, Marky, I got to tell you, if I had to have one watch, I reckon a Tudor Black Bay Burgundy is enough.
It's a good watch.
I agree, Archie. I actually agree. I just need a ceramic bezel of some sort.
For me to be a Submariner date, the last of the metal ones before they went to the aluminium ones before they went to the
yeah,
last of the
pre-ceramic is definitely.
Yeah, if I could have nothing else.
They're so dainty though.
I like pre-ceramic and aluminum all the way, as long as it's a watch that, like Doc has, is like a precious dress watch, you know, it's like type of thing.
Well, I mean, but as Archie says, any watch becomes a dress watch. You know.
No, I just mean they're trying to get me like for example, in my situation, like a one and done for a little while, you know, like so. In that case, I would want a ceramic.
Well, like
normal people have a fucking Bulova and that's it. You know.
Any of the pre-ceramics, like this, it would be. My Daytona would be like a pre-ceramic, right? Well, it wears like a dress watch. It's 37, and it wears like a dress watch.
Exactly.
So,
but it's how you wear it. It's how you choose to wear it.
It also can wear like a dress watch, to be honest.
That's what I mean. It's like how you wear it, though. If you designate it as a dress watch is for occasions where you're like really babying your wrist at like a 5-star restaurant. You're not, you know, going out and doing anything with that. It's a dress watch.
A dress watch to me is something that you can wear with a nice suit or even a tux, and it fits in.
So if you're forced,
I mean, in terms of the ruggedness of it, you know,
if you're forced to have a one and done, though, it has to be a jack of all trades, right? And so that
it has to be rugged. It has to be like a good rugged.
That's right. It has to be rugged. You have to be able to cross the line into dressing it up with a suit, and really that Submariner is the only pre-ceramic Submariner is the only one really that does everything. You can either go scuba dive, you can do whatever you want.
Especially depending upon if you like this or not, especially if you went two-tone.
I obviously love the pre-ceramic Submariner myself. Like I really, really love it. It's very vintagey for me. It feels like the 90s. But if I paid that kind of money, I would literally just want my Bathyscaphe. All the other watches I want are like fucking platinum.
I got to tell you something. I really love the no date. You know, the no date sub. I think I don't even want the date. If you're going pre-ceramic, the no date. It's just such a. And I want a whole
Arch, I'm agreeing
whole case because then you can put a Nate. You know, the thing that pisses me off is Rolex used to be a tool watch. See, this is it was like the Land Rover.
It would. I wouldn't put
that's the Land Rover. You could pull it apart. You could do this, and all you needed was a fucking paper clip to take the bracelet off. Remember those days, Marky?
Yes, I remember those days, and I remember you losing your spring bars and swearing up and down and trying to do it with a toothpick. And
the thing with Rolex is it's one of those brands where it wants you to have the single bracelet that it gives you, and it like beats you over the head if you don't do it. So it's just like a brand thing.
You used to be able to choose. You used to be able to choose in the catalog.
I know. I'm just saying the culture of them now is very picky. When it comes to that.
Some years ago, Rolex decided that they were no longer going to be a tool watch, that they were going to be an upmarket luxury brand, that they were going to vie.
No, they were no longer going to be a tool watch. They're going to become a watch for tools.
It was the mid 80s, the early to mid 80s. They already started their designs and they released them by the mid to late 80s.
And so what they did was they began to compete with on price with an exclusivity really with Patek Philippe. It's half the horology for a similar price. But what they did was they moved Tudor up from a garbage line that was like really not even sold in the United States to be what Rolex was when Rolex was Rolex.
You're right, but you know what? There's actually something a little bit more clever. They didn't compete with Patek
Hey, look who we
Philippe.
got here.
By the way, Rancher, you were in my head when when the pontiff said that he likes a no date Submariner, in my head I heard you saying, Submariner. There is no date.
You know, Mark, what they did is Patek capitalized on the dress watch market. Rolex niched in next to them. If you want a high-end watch, you're getting Patek for that tier, Rolex for this tier. They kind of symbiosed in, you know? That's clever. And also they positioned Tudor as an English aesthetic brand. Tudor Rose, you know, very English.
What do you have to say about
to compete with Omega? That's what they're doing, is they're trying to undercut Omega, and they're overcutting Omega with their own mother brand, if you will.
You have to wedge your way in.
Well, actually, Rolex went from being a tool watch to a watch for tools.
Somebody just said that. Somebody beat you to that line.
It was the pontiff himself.
Correct.
Really?
Can you believe it? You literally quoted Archie to Archie just now.
I have quoted Archie a lot of times. I mean, one of his favorite lines is, "Well, to quote Archie Luxury, it couldn't have happened to a nicer bunch of cunts."
I'm Archie Luxury, and what do you fuckers think of that?
That's a very Australian thing to say. Couldn't have a nicer bunch of cards.
Yep.
Exactly right there, guys. It's nearly time for me to wrap this.
What do you mean,
baby?
Nearly?
Up.
It's way past time.
Wait,
we'll wrap it up, guys. Let's get the thank you to all the super chatters. We had Frank V, Mr. GMT's Discount Seiko Shop, Mike the Punching Bag, MT85, Zygo the Frog, Hurritan, Starchy, Luxury, CB, Four Rocks, Crown Gold, One Up Trading, Crown Gold. Guys, thank you so much for coming. I'm flying home tonight.
Oh.
So I'll be out of here. Probably no stream tomorrow, but the day after we'll be back in business.
Have a good trip.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much.
trip,
See you
Alex.
later, guys.
Safe travels.
Hi guys, it's Archie Luxury. Guys, I want to talk to you about David SW. David SW. Guys, if you are in America, if you are looking for a Rolex watch of your dreams, in fact, if you're looking for a contemporary modern wristwatch, I strongly advise you to look at David SW. Guys, don't play the dealer games. Don't bring in chocolates or Krispy Kremes for your dealer hoping to get a Rolex at retail. It's futile. Please, guys, save your dignity. Keep some pride. Go to David SW. I would highly recommend David SW. If you're in America and you're looking for a watch, go to David SW. David SW.